Doop-doo, doop-doo. And there we go. Everything's ready.
No, the whole world can hear us?
No, not nearly.
The whole however many viewers you have today can hear us?
Not even. They're probably all watching the presidential debate and have me muted.
Oh, is that a thing right now?
That is literally a thing right now at 8 o'clock.
I mean, the presidential debate's mostly a meme this year, isn't it?
Is by a different... It's not actually hosted by the official one, which is co-owned by the Republican and Democratic parties, and is mostly an excuse to advertise those parties and exclude everybody else. This year it's being hosted by CNN, and there are special rules for how the debate works due to the fact that one of the debate contestants isn't very good at following rules. They've also implemented a mute button, so if somebody won't shut up when it's their turn to shut up, they can be muted and nobody can hear them. I'll give you one guess which candidate doesn't appreciate that rule.
Oh, definitely Biden.
Biden, famous for talking way longer after being told to shut up 4 times. Whatever your opinions on both candidates, it cannot be denied that Trump would not shut up when he was told to multiple times.
What they need to do to make things more exciting is instead of having them debate by just talking, have them do like something like a chess match. I mean, it's not like the debate's that useful for figuring out things about the president, right?
This debate is probably one of the worst in a long time for... It's probably not going to convince anybody. This debate is honestly more just about getting views for CNN than anything. In theory, I think the theory is that there might be some moderates watching to get an idea of how both people behave in this environment, given that it's more of they don't really interact with each other all that much. Are they still playing nice 4 years later, or how do they react? To be fair, given everything against him, this is kind of Biden's game to lose. All he kind of needs to do is keep his mouth shut, and he probably wins. But I can also see him saying something really stupid. And let's be real, if he says even one thing stupid, that's all anyone's going to talk about. Because at this point, no one's shocked if Trump says anything. Because that's his whole shtick, is talking. He's a very talky man.
So instead, let's do some space politics.
Yep, space politics with guns.
Well, I'd say Cosmic Encounter is much more of a space politics game. This is more of a space war game.
Yeah. This is kind of
really
like...
hard to refrain from war.
Poor man's Stellaris. Except I don't like Stellaris, so...
Are you ready for me to start explaining things?
Yep.
Okay. Let me also pull up my cheat sheet in real life. Yes, perfect. So, each round in ARCs is going to start off, one player will have initiative, and everybody else is going to follow in clockwise order. In this case, we have 2 players, so clockwise, counterclockwise doesn't matter.
Yep.
Whoever has initiative will play a card of one of the 4 suits.
Mm-hmm.
Higher numbers tend to have lower numbers of these pips, which represent how many actions you can take. And each suit has a different set of actions you're allowed to take using those pips.
Yep.
So for example, let's say you choose the administration suit. That means you're allowed to take the tax, or repair, or the influence action.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to if I pick, say, the construction suit, I can build or repair. And there's some overlap in these actions. Some of them show up in multiple suits.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever's leading will choose any card to play. The key thing they want to look for is you're looking for what action you want to play and how many you want. You also have to think about higher numbers are harder for other people to take actions with, as opposed to lower numbers means you get more actions. And finally, there's these icons at the bottom for ambitions. I'll explain those a little later. So whatever card I play, the person who follows then has a choice to follow suit in a couple of different ways. Let me actually play the 3, because that'll be a little better for what I want to say. So, one of the ways you can follow suit is you can play a card of the same suit that is higher than the lead card. I will emphasize in multiple players, you only need to be higher than the lead card, not higher than every other card the suit played.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I could play a 4, 5, or 6. the higher number, of course, means lower actions.
Yep.
But it also means I'm more likely to be the one who takes the lead after this round.
Mm-hmm.
There's an action called surpassing.
Yep.
When you surpass, you can take as many actions as there are pips on the card you played, and you'll take them of this suit. Option 2, you may choose to pivot. Play any card of a different suit, doesn't matter what the number is, and you can take one action from that card. Or option 3 is copy. Play any card face down, and that will copy whatever the action is of the base card. You can take one action.
Is it intentional that I can't see what's on the cards?
No, that might mean you need to reload.
Yeah, because the action cards are all blank on my screen.
Try relogging. That might work.
I have to leave the game and re-enter or something else?
Yeah, really the game and re-enter. That usually fixes things.
I was like, hang on a second. I thought they were upside down, and then you flipped it, and I saw art, and I'm like, oh no.
And this is one advantage to playing games in real life is you don't have to wait for real life to load, usually.
Yeah, there we go. Now I see art.
Yeah. So just to emphasize, I led with the aggression suit, so you can either surpass with a higher number aggression suit, you can pivot with any card that's not aggression, or you can copy with any card face down. And one thing I want to emphasize here, if your card is the same suit but a lower number, the only thing you're allowed to do is copy.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to play a lower number card for surpass, or for pivot. Or a lower number card for the same suit for surpass or pivot. There's one last thing you can do, which is, in any of these 3 actions, well, it might be... Yeah, so if no one sees the initiative yet, you could do what's called seize the initiative, which you play a second card face down next to your first card, and that means whether or not you surpassed with the highest number, you get the initiative, and no one else can take it. So what I could do for that, just how it works in this mod, there's a little space to place the card just down and to the left. After you played your cards, so first player's going to play their card, then they're going to take all their actions for that card. And the second player's going to play their card and take all their actions. There is a timing window, though, before you take your actions and after you play your card, where you may choose to spend resources or to use any of your cards from the guild deck. This is called the prelude phase, so if you see anything that takes place in prelude, this is the timing for it to happen. It happens after you play your card, but before you actually take the actions from your card. As soon as you take the action from your card, your turn's over. Does it all make sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
So final thing to mention, at the end of the round, you'll check who gets the initiative after this. So if someone sees the initiative, and then they get it, that would be you play this extra card face down, which can happen with any combination. You can play that on your pivot or on your copy, for example. Alternatively, if somebody surpassed, whoever surpassed with the highest number will end up getting initiative. And if nobody sees the initiative and nobody surpassed, then the initiative stays with the player who led. One thing I'll emphasize here, if you do seize the initiative, you're spending an extra card, and what that means is you're guaranteed later in the rounds to just be down a card. So it's going to be a round where only one player gets to play a card and 2 players.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep that in mind if you're seizing. Okay, let's talk about these actions. So I think there's 6 basic actions if I remember correctly.
That's fair.
Yeah, 6. So first action, build. There's 2 different ways to use build. First way is you can place a ship at a starport. So starports look like this.
Yep. Whereas
if you place a ship at a starport that's controlled by somebody else, your ship will come in damaged. While if you place the ship at a starport that's controlled by you, it will come in refreshed.
Mm-hmm.
And controlled is just based on who has the highest number of refreshed ships.
Yep. Non-damaged.
Yep, non-damaged. Option 2 for build is you can build a city or a starport on any planet where you have loyal pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I have loyal pieces here, I can place it. I don't know if you need control. Let me double check that.
It said that you have control, I believe.
I I think what happens is it'll probably come in damaged if you don't have control, if it's consistent with the ship rules.
Let me check.
Where are we?
Place a starport or city in an empty building slot in a system with a loyal piece. When building a city, use leftmost on your player board.
Yeah, here we are. If you build anything in a system that's controlled by someone other than you, you place it damaged.
Okay, there we go.
So build it both for ships or cities. You'll just place it in damage if someone else controls the system.
There we go.
And you can always repair it later. Because that's the other action from the construction card, is repair, which is take any of your damaged pieces and flip them to their repaired state.
Mm-hmm.
So for buildings, you just press F to flip them. For ships, you just press 1 to switch them to their fresh state. Okay, that's build and repair. Next action, tax. Tax is basically you're producing resources on a city. So any city you control, you may use the tax action to collect whatever resource matches the planet it's on.
And if you tax a rival, you also can capture one of their agents from their supply that you had to your tyrant.
If you tax a rival city, you take an agent. If you tax your own city, then you just take the resource and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if I remember correctly, in order to tax a rival, you must control that system.
Yep, it's of a rival city you control.
Yep. Now, one thing I'll mention with both tax and build, you're only allowed to build up to 1 ship per starport.
Yep.
And you're only allowed to tax each planet up to once.
Once per round.
Once per city, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, once per city per round, I believe.
Yeah, I should say, you're only allowed to tax each city once.
Sorry, no. Once per city per turn.
Yes.
So if you tax multiple times...
In your next turn, you can tax it again.
Yeah. And
that just means, if you want to say you get a lot of oil over here, you want to have multiple cities on this planet in order to be able to tax it multiple times.
Or you want your rival to have them, and then you just control the region.
Yeah. It is somewhat to your advantage to tax your opponent's cities, but your own cities have their own advantage. Yep. If you look at your player board, you'll notice there's these different icons for your resources. When you tax, you can rearrange your resource however you want, but all resources you have must go in one of these slots you have open. Mm-hmm. Every time you build a city, it frees up more slots for you to have resources in.
Yep. Which they definitely borrowed from half the factions in Root.
They didn't really have resources in there. Like, the track idea is definitely very similar to Root.
The track, but also...
The resource storage overlapping it's definitely new.
Yeah, having your buildings and having more buildings on the table overlapping with ability to do more of something.
Although, strictly speaking, it's not the buildings being on the table that gives you the ability. It's the buildings not being on your player board.
Yeah, because if they're destroyed, you don't get them back, I'm assuming.
You do get them back eventually. I'll explain that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
One last thing I'll mention, your last 2 cities. When you uncover those, instead of giving you resource slots, they'll give you additional points for endgame scoring. Mm-hmm. I'll mention those a little bit later.
Yep.
But this just, as we're talking about building, that's a thing. Okay, I've talked about building, I've talked about taxing. Let me talk about moving. So moving is exactly as you'd expect.
Except for the catapult.
You take ships from one location and move them to an adjacent system.
Except for the catapult, where you can keep moving through systems until you either run into a planet or a system that you don't control.
Yeah, so catapult moving is basically you move through, I can't remember what they call this place.
Gates.
Yeah, gate sounds right.
Gate 2, Gate 3, Gate 5, Gate 6. These 2 are covered up because there are only 2 players.
Yes. So the key thing is if you roll the gates, you can catapult move through them, or if nobody rolls them.
Yep.
But if you move to a gate that your opponent rules, you have to stop your catapult move there.
Fortunately, all your ships are damaged, so I can move through here.
I mean, perhaps.
That is how that works.
If you have only...
I know, but I'm saying in this circumstance, because they're damage you don't control, because only fresh counts for damage.
So yeah, it's exactly to your advantage to control the gate, because that can prevent people from catapult moving their stuff into your area. Mm-hmm. The gate is the fast travel.
Although you start pretty spread out to your territory.
Yeah, so consolidating is a little weird in this game sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And I also noticed that no one...
I'm not sure what the meta is in regards to consolidating versus spreading out.
I'm also guessing that with 4 players, no one controls the 2 planets, everyone controls the 1 planets still.
That might be true.
Because it looks like...
Well, there's a bunch of cards over here that are the setup cards that show you how you arrange things.
Yeah, because I'm on red, which has these 2. You're on blue, which is here in purple. And my guess is yellow is probably something like
the 2 planets you're starting on correspond to the 2 resources you start with.
Yep.
And your ships, you always start out with 2 planets with a city and some ships, and then 1 gate under your control.
Yep.
And it looks like 1
Material.
planet over here that's also under your control, but no cities.
Material, fuel, weapon, relic.
Let me talk about a couple more things. So that was move. Next action, influence. Influence is kind of like crafting in Root. You'll place an agent on any one of these cards. There's no particular cost for the cards. What you do is you just place an agent, and then when you would take the secure action, secure means you claim any card where you have the most agents. And one thing I'll emphasize here, there's no way to both secure and influence in the same turn. So either you're trying to build up a card so you have influence on it, or you're taking that card. Or actually, I should say that there's no way to influence and then secure in one turn that I know of. It's always, you can secure first, and then you can influence after that, based on actions you take. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you want to claim something on your turn, I always have a turn to continue influencing it after you influence it. So it's possible that we'll be spending a lot of time fighting over an individual card. I need to look through the deck. There's one special type of card here that I want to pull out. Most of these are guild cards. There's one... Guild cards basically act as ongoing effects. I'll just search the deck. Hopefully they labeled things. They did not.
Of course not.
Here we are. Guild cards give you an ongoing effect, and they also count as a resource, which is going to work for end-of-round scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Vox cards give you an immediate effect if you secure. So they're sort of like the very unpopular favor cards in Root, or crafted items in Root. So Guild is always 2 steps to claim these. You have to influence the card and have the majority of the agents here, and then you take a secure action to claim the card, and it'll get replaced with a new card. And when you claim a card, all rival agents on that card move over into your captain's box, which will be for scoring later.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so those are all the most basic actions. There is one more action to talk about, which is Battle. Battle is a fun one.
It is the most complicated one, and apparently that's where I left off on the rules.
Yeah, so Battle. In order to take the battle action, you must have pieces in a system where an opponent also has pieces. You can battle in gates or on a planet. So let's say I have some pieces over here. And let me make some undamaged ships. And you choose you want to battle on this system.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, you may roll as many dice as you have ships in this system.
Familiar enough.
If I remember correctly, it's attacking ships is not attacking refreshed ships. So even your damaged ships add more dice.
Yep.
Yeah, for each attacking ship. There are 3 types of dice you can choose. And you can choose up to 6 of each type based on how many ships you have. Although I've been told on the Discord, nobody's got to do 18 dice yet in one battle.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate.
No, I mean, there's only 15 ships, so I'm not sure how you
There's
get.
some guild cards that can give you more dice, and there's an optional module we're not using which will give you more dice, but it's not usually to your advantage to roll all 18 dice. I'll just put it that way.
No.
So 3 types of dice. Assault, Skirmish, and Raid. Skirmish are very safe dice. You can get hits, or you can get no action. Assault dice, they have a higher chance of hits, but they also have these flame icons which cause you to lose a ship. And they have the intercept icon, which causes you to lose it causes you to take 1 hit per a defending ship that is undamaged. So for example, if my ships look like this, I have 1 undamaged defending ship. So if you were to roll this target symbol, you would take 1 hit. Now one thing to emphasize here, intercept will only happen up to once no matter how many times you roll that symbol. Mm-hmm. While the flame symbol, you count off every single time you roll it.
It said damage your ships once per undamaged defending ship.
Yeah. This will just... The flame icon and the intercept will damage your ships.
Yeah.
I think the flame icon... I think the 2 of them will never damage your buildings. It will only damage your attacking ships.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is... You take 1 damage per undamaged defending ship. Anything that's damaged doesn't count. The buildings don't count either. And it's just... Only 1 intercept will happen per battle. Mm-hmm. Even if you roll this multiple times.
And you always damage your ships first, then the enemies.
Yes. So after you finish damaging all your stuff, you damage the enemies. You first off damage their buildings, or first their ships, and then their buildings. But this icon right here, This will damage
And
their
that's on the
buildings
raid.
specifically instead of their ships. That's part of the raid dice.
I noticed that the raid dice don't have any attacks, only buildings.
Yes. The raid dice will either directly attack buildings, or will give you these raid symbols which let you steal a resource from your opponents. So go back to your faction board. On your faction board, each slot is marked with keys.
Also,
The higher the number of keys is, the harder it is to steal that resource. If you look over at the guild cards, each guild card has keys at the top, which determines how hard it is to steal that card. So let's say I have 4 key icons. I could steal 2 cards from you, say this one and this one, or I could steal some combination of cards and resources, or I could steal, say, 2 resources, like this one and this one. You're only allowed to rearrange the resources on your board whenever you gain or have to discard resources. So keep that in mind. When you get new resources, you want to place them to avoid them getting stolen, wherever the most valuable stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, let's say I unlock these building slots like you stacked my buildings for, I'd probably want to put everything in my 3s because those are the safest 2 slots.
And you've only got 2, so you might as well.
Yeah, no reason not to. But if I had more building slots taken up, I might decide, okay, I've got these 2 resources, 1 and a 3, 1 and a 1. I think I want the relic more, so I'll keep that here safer. One last thing to mention on battle, you're only allowed to use raid dice if either your opponent has a building, if your opponent has a building in the system you're attacking, or if your opponent has no buildings on the board at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One last thing to mention about battle. Well, I guess there's 2 last things. So in battle, any pieces you remove in battle, whether you're the attacker or the defender, those will go to the trophies box. So as the attacker, I take any pieces of yours that I kill and put them in my trophies. As the defender, any pieces of yours you kill in my defense will go into your trophies box. And trophies are used for endgame scoring. Well, end-of-round scoring.
I call BS on these dice rolls.
You didn't roll the dice, you just added them.
That's why.
This would roll the dice.
Duh. As soon as I said it, I realized what the problem was.
Yeah, they spawn in, they all just spawn in face up.
That makes sense. Yeah, I noticed that Assault has a 4 in 6 chance of hurting you as well, and Raid has a 5 in 6. Only one of the Raid sides doesn't.
Raid's also fun because one of the sides that gives you the most raid icons is also a target symbol.
Yep.
In the last game I played, I actually came down to a 1 in 6 chance of winning. I had a single ship, and I had a raid dice, and I needed 2 keys in order to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not roll 2 keys, so I did not win.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But this game, kind of like Root, sometimes the game comes down to a very important dice roll, and your goal is to optimize your chances to make that more likely.
But more often, it doesn't come down to a single dice roll.
Yeah, more often it doesn't. So, last thing to mention. So, hitting pieces, the attacker always chooses where all the hits go. So any ships you're losing, you can choose either to damage them, which means you flip them on their side, or you can choose to remove a ship if it's taking a second hit. It's up to you to decide which one to do. If you're going to do the raid action, you need to have at least 1 attacking ship left. If you lose all your ships in the previous hits and the intercepts, you won't get to raid. Now, if you deal enough hits to remove a city, special stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
First, you provoke outrage. What that means is you take one of your officers, or one of your agents from your box, and you place them on the matching resource wherever the planet is. So you're attacking this planet right here, so that's the relic. You'll place your little guy on the relic. When you provoke outrage, you lose all resources that match that symbol, and all guild cards too, if I remember. Let me double check that. Yeah, discard all resources and guilds that have that planet type. So let's say I provoke outrage on relics. I'd lose all my relics. They'd all return to the supply. And I'd lose all the cards I've crafted that have relic. For example, so neither of these are relic, but this one's material, for example. So if I was outraging on material, this would go. The next thing that happens after you provoke outrage is you ransack the court. So choose any card that has an agent of the city that you destroyed. So let's say you destroy my blue city, you choose any card that has at least 1 blue agent, and you can claim that card, no matter how many agents are on it. And all agents who are on the card that are not yours, those get thrown into the captives box, or the trophies box instead of the captives. Basically, this is an alternative way to secure a card. Instead of securing it by you having the most agents, you secure it by your opponent having at least one agent.
And by
The
willing
big
to
downside
sacrifice
is
resources.
you can only outrage. Once you outrage a resource, you cannot unoutrage that in any way in the base game. So this is permanently outraged. Okay. Resources
let me guess,
do
that
have an extra...
that isn't a very useful strategy very often unless you really don't need that resource.
Yeah, you have to plan ahead if you're going to outrage or not. There are cards that let you get around particular aspects of outrage in the guild, but not fully get around outrage. For example, there is a card that lets you play relics despite them being outraged, if I remember correctly. You just would have to craft it. Now, once you're already outraged, you can collect that resource. You just can't use the resource for its intention. So I mentioned remember that prelude fate I mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
During the prelude, in addition to using your guild cards, you can spend resources for the listed action, as long as it's not outraged. So material lets you build or repair, fuel lets you move, weapon lets you turn one of your pips or one or more of your pips into battle actions. So weapon doesn't let you take an action itself, it lets you take up to one battle per pip on your card, instead of what its regular action is. So it doesn't really make sense if I'm doing aggression for a lead, but let's say I led with construction, and played a weapon, I can battle up to twice with that. Or I could also use those to build or repair. Relic lets you take the secure action, and Psionic lets you take the action of wherever the lead card is. So it just lets you make it, in this case, it's the lead card construction, a Psionic will let me either build or repair. And one last thing to mention here, you notice there is no resource that you spend for influence. So you could possibly spend a relic to secure a card, get your agents back, and then use those agents to influence, but you can't go influence a card and then immediately secure it. Okay. So there's one last thing to mention. When you are the leader, and you play a card, you have the option to declare an ambition, and ambitions are used for the end of round scoring. When you declare an ambition, you place this marker over the card. It changes your card from whatever the number is to a 0, which means people who are surpassing have an easier time surpassing. And then the ambition is declared whatever this icon is in the bottom left corner, which I will point out will vary within a suit. It's not always going to be this ambition pairs up with construction. There are 5 ambitions that you can see over here. So the Tycoon ambition, your goal is to have the most combination of fuel and material. The Tyrant ambition, your goal is to have the most captives. The Warlord ambition, your goal is to have the most trophies. The Keeper ambition, your goal is to have the most relics. And the Empath, your goal is to have the most, whatever the psionic resource is called. No, psionic.
Yep.
When you declare an ambition, you'll take whatever the highest number is and place that icon on the ambition. And if you want, you can actually declare the same ambition multiple times. So later you can go declare a card which declares this ambition a second time. So for example, I could declare the Keeper, and the second time we declare, maybe we declare Tyrant, and the third time we declare Keeper again. On these ambitions, the higher number determines the points for first place, and the lower number determines the points for second place. If there's a tie for first place, you both get second place. If there's a tie for second place, you both get nothing. And I'm pretty sure ambitions don't work any differently in 2 players, so we'll still have first place and second place. The key detail there is in order to get second place or first place in an ambition, you actually have to have something that contributes towards that. So for example, if we're scoring the Tyrant ambition and I have no captives, I can't get second place or first place.
Yeah, that makes sense.
One last thing, in 2-player mode, some of these ambitions have resources that are stacked to the side of them, which are based on the planets that are out of play. These resources are permanently unusable, so they're going to decrease the size of the supply, and they're going to count towards scoring the ambition as if there's a third player. So for example, for the Tycoon ambition, I need to have at least 4 resources in order to tie the Tycoon for the dummy player, or at least 5 to surpass them. Or for the Warlord, this weapon here counts as 1 trophy in the Warlord trophy box. Now, after you score the Tyrant or the Warlord ambition, every player will empty out their boxes of their captives or their trophies respectively.
Yep.
They will not get emptied out unless those ambitions are scored.
Yep, I was about to ask.
Yeah, so you're just... Let's say nobody declares Warlord in this case. Those trophies just remain in the trophy box. You can actually choke someone's pieces out by just never declaring that ambition.
Yep. Whereas if they declare it, they need to have somebody in there, so...
Alright, and then final detail.
Giving it to you.
After we score the round, we both collect our points. If you placed first place in an ambition, and you have the cities revealed, you can get additional points for those ambitions.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, my cities are currently revealing +2 and +3 to 1 ambitions.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you an extra bonus on top of whatever the base score is. Which, one thing I'm unsure about is, let's say we have 2 of them here. Do you get your bonus twice? I think you do. Yeah, each time you do it. I'm pretty sure you'd get both of them, just because that seems more consistent with the rules. I can double check later. After you score all the ambitions, you do any relevant end of round actions, so some guild cards will have that. And then what you'll do is you return all the ambitions to their box, and you'll flip over the lowest non-flipped blue one. So in that case, I flip over that blue one to an orange 4, and then I reorder them. So next time we declare ambitions, we're going to have 5, 4, and 3 instead of 5, 3, and 2. The round after that, this will flip to a 6, and the round after that, this will flip to a 9. After we're done with that, we advance the chapter, we move this forward. If we're on chapter 5, and we just finished chapter 5, the game just ends.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the game will end if one of us has 33 points or more.
Yep, because it's 2 players.
Yep, and when the game is over, whoever has the highest number of points wins.
And then
This is different from Root, where the game ends immediately when you reach that point total.
Yep.
Finally, if the game doesn't end, we'll do the next round. So we'll both draw 6 cards again, and whichever one of us doesn't have initiative has the option to discard and draw again.
And most games end in 3 to 5 rounds.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's what the manual claims.
Well, you can only trust the game manual so far.
Mm-hmm.
The game manual for Root says most games last an hour. You play enough Root, you should probably know that is a very bold claim.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's everything, except stuff that we'll just explain as the game continues. So this should be enough to get started.
Fair
I guess
enough.
any questions?
None at this time.
Alright, I need to figure out how to reload this. I think it is this button. And you might want to disconnect and reconnect again, just so everything refreshes properly.
Mm-hmm. And I also want to turn on some music.
And do you have proper space music for this?
Got a lot of music, including space. Yeah, I'll just turn on that one. My Among Us playlist. Which honestly could probably use some more space music.
And while we're getting setting up, it's probably a good idea to read just what's happening over in the guild. These are all the cards that we have the option to potentially craft. No, craft's the wrong word. Secure is the word they use for this game.
Did I not add the Cyberpunk audio pack to my music? Damn. Although I also know that there's some issue on this end. I have way more music than I should because a lot of it duplicated by mistake. And also a ton of it is missing the album.
I think, actually, I just found a way to both influence and secure a card, using psionic resources.
Nice.
It's a very niche case. So ignore my earlier claim of that's impossible. There is one way to do it.
Yay.
Someone has to lead using a resource, using a card with influence, and then you have to pivot to the aggression suit, which has a secure action, and play a psionic resource. For effects here, we have a Vox here, which lets you declare an ambition when you secure it. We have Low Empaths, which when you provoke outrage, you keep, instead of discarding. And you can spend any resource as psionic, which you ignore outrage when spending.
missing so much music. Every time I look for music, I'm missing some of it. It's so weird.
Oh, you should look at the shipping interest card. It has something interesting I should mention. Notice how it says up here at the top, synthesize, in parentheses, build? Whenever you see a card like that in the guild, what that means is whenever you're taking the build action, you may instead choose to take the synthesize action. Which means instead of building, you gain 1 fuel. There'll be other variations on this. It would always be in the way of some action with a name, and then parentheses, one of the base 7 actions. I'll point out if you have any special effects, which give you bonuses on build, that only counts if you're actually building, not if you're using synthesize. Alright, I think we're ready to get started then.
And you randomize the sectors now 1 and 6 aren't available anymore.
Yeah, I just press start game and it shows a different setup.
Yep.
There's like 4 different 2-player setups, which just randomize which sections are hidden.
Yeah. And
you also notice it randomizes which resources are placed over here.
And it also seems to randomize. It seems it's always one of the longs and one of the shorts, so it's always 1 or 4, and then it's always one of the other.
I think last time we had 1 and 4 were covered up.
Oh, is it just a different colored arrow, or sized arrows then?
I think we have fewer planets covered up this time. Wait, no, never mind.
No,
it's long sections. The long sections still have 3 planets on them.
Yeah.
The shorter sections just are connected to their neighbor.
Yep.
So if you notice right over here,
yeah,
these 2 planets are adjacent to each other, even though they're in different sections. These are not. While over here, this is blocked off by space, so none of these are adjacent.
And what's also interesting is this sector, because of the way it's located, only has 3 planets with a resource each, whereas this sector has 5 total resources.
Yep.
So it's not a symmetrical board at all.
It is not. This board is actually a point of a small controversy with arcs. The original board looked a lot more like Root, and that was what some people saw when they were backing the campaign. And then after a lot of playtesting, they ended up on this board. So some people, the first time they saw this board was upon receiving their copy of Arcs. They wondered, why does that look nothing like it did originally?
Yep.
Everybody who's played with this board, though, says it's much better than the original board, though.
I believe it.
The big thing is, this right here, this, I can never remember names. This circle thingy is way more clear than it was in the other version of the board. That, if you'd see it, it was a mess.
Fair enough.
Alright, so you have initiative, it looks like. That's what the randomizer chose. That means I have the option, if I want to discard my whole hand, and then draw the next 6 cards and keep those instead.
Yep.
One thing I'll mention is any cards that are played face down, they're just going to go to a pile of face down cards, which gets set aside. Any cards that are played face up are publicly viewable. So you can use that to keep track of what possibly might get played in later tricks. Also, you know about how in Tabletop Simulator you can hold Alt to zoom in on a card? I think it's Alt. Yeah, Alt. Use that to help you read your cards if you need.
Yep. God, I hate my cards.
The thing about arcs is it kind of seems like... So you might think like, oh, this is a good hand or a bad hand. I'm pretty sure every hand's a bad hand in this game. If you're all high numbers, you're not taking any actions.
No, that's not my problem. My problem
if you're all
is...
low numbers, you're not winning any tricks.
The problem is how many cards I have of one of the suits is and it's one of the suits I want the least.
Yeah, that happens too sometimes.
It's like,
I love the action economy of this game, but it can definitely be very unforgiving sometimes. It's like, oh, you are going to take the secure action a bunch of times. How many
suits are there? Is it 4 or 5?
Just 4.
So I thought. So yeah, I have half my deck is one suit.
Oh boy.
And then I have one of each of the rest.
At least you have all suits. So when you choose to lead, the things to consider, if you lead on a high number, it's going to be harder for me to surpass it, which means I'll get to take fewer actions. If you lead on a lower number, you get to take more actions.
Well, the real thing is, because the suit I want to play, I only have one card of that suit, so I play that card.
Yeah, I'm going to choose just to keep my cards because, honestly, I don't even know at this point what I'm doing. So you have the option if you want to declare an ambition. It's probably a little early to do that, but...
I'm going to declare the ambition of... I just did a construction, so I'm going to go for Tyrant. because my goal is to construct a lot of things and then steal your people through the power of money.
The ambitions vary based within a suit, so not every construction card is tyrant at the bottom.
The joke is that that's a bad idea. Oh, I didn't even notice it says tyrant at the bottom. I was even looking at that.
Oh, you didn't even notice that the symbol is tyrant.
Nope. I said that as a joke. Because you have to mouse over the cards to see that at the very bottom, so it wasn't visible at first. Until I actually place it on the field. Why is Mom calling? 1 second.
By the way, you're unmuted, so your side of your call is. Oh, okay. Oh, so you haven't actually taken your actions yet. Oh, unless you did, I just didn't notice. I'm just checking some rules while you're waiting for that call to finish. And one thing that was worth mentioning here on your turn is before you took those build actions, you had the option to choose to play any number of resources you have here in your slots. So for example, you could play a sonic to copy one of the base things, or you could play a material to build or repair. I think in this case, both of them just do the same thing as your base card. I'm assuming you didn't want to do that, so for my turn, I may choose to surpass, copy, or pivot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to surpass. So I'm surpassing with a 4 of construction. So what that means is I may build or repair, just like you did. I can take all 3 of my pips because I'm surpassing. I need to pay attention. I am blue, not red. Seems like I have a very aggressive neighbor over here. I'm gonna... Where's my other city? Material, and... I like that seems like a good combination. And I will also place one of my spaceports, and I will build the ship. So, I've taken all my actions. I chose not to spend any resource at the start. So this round is gonna... Or not round. Is it round the right turn? There's a round, and there's a group of rounds, or... I want to make sure I'm using the right terms, because it might show up on guild cards. I took my turn. All the turns together, I think, is a... They might just call it a trick, or they might call it... Oh, they call it a chapter. So a chapter is a group of rounds, and each round contains a group of turns. Okay. So this round is over. What that means is I click the end round button. I don't know what just happened in that script there. I should have initiative, though. Oh, I guess I want to take initiative, not seize initiative. Where did those cards go from the end of the round? You know? It's supposed to show up right here. Wonder if something glitched in when I loaded it. Or we'll just assume that everything's fine and keep going and hope everything works. Classic strategy. I assume you're still muted for now. Yeah, I'll have to, while you're doing that, I'll have to decide what I want to lead with. Yes, it is my initiative, so I'll place the first card. I think I wanted to do that. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lead with the 5 of administration. These suit names are so weird. The 5 of administration is not a thing I'd say in any other game. With the 5 of administration, I may spend resource if I wish. Do I want to spend any resources? I think not. And then I have the option to tax or repair or influence. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tax this planet and this planet. So when I tax this planet, I get a relic. With this planet, taxing it gets me a material. Oh wait, I can't tax that because we're out of material. I'm going to change what I'm doing. So I'm not allowed to tax this planet a second time because, well, I've already taxed it. Specifically, I only have the one city there. I can only tax this city once. And I can't tax this one because 2 material is reserved as part of the tycoon. I feel like there should be 5 material, though. So where is that 5th one? Oh, there it is. It was invisible. The material was invisible. There is another one.
Yeah,
there we go. I am taxing that
weird.
then. I don't know. Tabletop Simulator glitches sometimes. Okay, so I taxed twice, and I still have one more action.
Mom says she
You're
wanted to
allowed
call
to choose
you, and I
him.
told her we're playing a game together, so she might not call you.
Why is she calling everybody?
It's Mother. It's what she
Well, I mean, like, is there a
does.
particular reason, or is she just calling to say hello?
In my case, she wanted to ask about the lawnmower delivery, and then also
Ah,
just ask how my day and my week went. And she's like, "You sound distracted." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm playing a game with your son, your other son." And she's like, "Oh, okay." So your last one you chose to do, I'm assuming, influence.
we do an influence over on loyal empaths.
Yep.
So there's little slots here where the guys will automatically place in. So if I place my guys here and you place your guys there, it'll be easy to check who has more.
Yep. All right.
So currently, I have one guy on empath, so I could secure this card in a future secure action.
True.
I
With
have
an
no
aggression.
money on the other ones, so I can't secure them.
Okay. My turn.
Yep.
6
Ooh,
in
you have
administration.
6 of administration.
I happen to have the higher card in administration.
Oh, guess who's calling me now?
Shocker! I literally told her probably bad idea. Ugh. Oh, mother. Well, I'll take my turn in the meantime. Now, let's actually look at these guild cards and see if any of them are actually worth taking. Populist demands. You may declare an ambition. Can't you do that anyway, or do you need a resource? I guess that you need a resource, otherwise that's why I take that card. If you provoke outrage, keep this card. You may spend any resources as psionic. You may ignore outrage when spending psionic for its prelude action. Okay. Yeah, loyal empaths. And shipping interest, synthesize build, gain 1 fuel. You may discard this to gain fuel up to your number of empty resource slots. If the fuel supply empties, steal the fuel instead. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I have this city, which is in the red weapons district, and I have this, which is in the materials. Unfortunately, I cannot get more materials, so I will build one over here. Oh, no, wait, that's my starport. This is my city. So I could go for the psionic, or I could go for the weapons. But I think I'm going to build... Let's see. I'm going to do... 1 tax, not build, tax, in my weapons city. And I will add this here. And then I will put a person on this card.
Looks like you're influencing, since you can only tax once.
Well, yeah, because the other place I could tax would be empath, and I'm like, eh. I could tax twice if I wanted to do the empath one, but I didn't feel like it.
Empath is a pretty good resource. However, finally, I've never used it because last game I went outrage and empath like first turn.
Yep.
I never got to see how it's like.
Now you could go outrage on empath and still keep it if you get that card.
That is true. Well, I get to keep the card, I don't get to keep the resource.
Ah, okay.
That's the trick here.
But you get to spend the resource.
I get to spend it still, though.
You may spend any resource as psionic. You ignore outrage when spending psionic for its prelude action.
As you might guess, there is 5 of this card. Well, 4 of this card, 1 for each of the resources that is directly spendable. Can't remember if there's 1 for weapons. Weapons are a little weirder.
Yeah. Okay, so are you plotting on spending another card, or are you good?
For what?
Because I just did my actions, so...
Oh, no, I can't see. My turn's already over as soon as you played your card.
Okay. Then, yep, that
I'm
looks...
only allowed to seize the initiative if you did not lead.
Okay. Then, yep, I think that turn's over, so next turn.
I'll mention if there's more players. So, end round, we click the end round button.
Yep.
Maybe end round's the wrong button. Maybe that's the reason why it's glitching.
Yeah, because there's turn and then... I feel like
Oh,
turn
and
is
round is
what
fine.
you do, and round is what everyone does.
And I
then...
forgot to play something here is what's going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the cards are just returned to this deck instead of getting laid out here like I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I played last, they just manually moved them over.
Possibly.
That could be what happened too.
Yeah.
Or maybe he had an item he spawned in that did the thing. I don't know, I'm not used to the Tabletop Simulator version of this.
Fair. Is it my turn now?
So you click the take initiative button,
Yep.
just so the script is happy.
Okay. Let's see here. All things considered.
So do you only take 2 actions?
What?
You only took 2 actions, right? Because
Yeah.
you played a 6.
Yeah, and the 6 only had 2.
Okay.
Alright, given the circumstances, I think this is a good card to play.
Ooh.
I'm
Battle,
going to
moving,
take
or securing?
shipping interests. I just put it there, I guess. Just any random place.
Yeah. We have to go at the bottom. I think there's a slot for them at the
And
bottom.
I take my agent back.
Yep.
And that is...
And whenever you buy a card from the guild, it gets replaced with a new one.
Mm-hmm. And that is 1 aggressive action. And then the other one is I can do a move. And I am going to... Yeah, this is a starport. But obviously the problem with leaving it undefended is even if I don't care to build there and I don't care about defending it, you could still raid it and take my shit.
That's true. Although raiding comes at its disadvantage if it's a city.
Yep. Well, this isn't a city, this is a starport.
Yeah, there's not really a huge risk to raiding there except loss of my ships.
Yeah. I'll do this for my move. There's no one here, so I catapult or slingshot. I prefer the term slingshot, but I get why they use catapult because someone might get mad at them for, like, I think Star Trek technically was the one who did slingshot, and they might be worried about Discovery going after them.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? None of my business. Anyway, that's my aggression.
Remember, you can only catapult moves starting from a starport you control.
Sorry, a starport, or is it from... Oh, I thought it was a planet you control.
I think it's only from starport.
No, it does say
I'll double check.
starport. Yes, it does say starport.
I think it has to be your own starport.
Yeah,
to be
loyal
precise.
starport and loyal
But
ships.
there might have been a guild card that lets you do it from opponent starports, if I remember.
Yep.
Here we are. Move, catapult moves. Yeah, you must leave from a system with a loyal starport.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I'm
say you have
looking
to
at that
control
right
it, though.
Meow, you have food, dum-dum.
So you done with your actions then?
Yep.
So now I need to choose what to do.
You want to play a higher aggression, or do you want to... Because I did notice that aggression has considerably fewer options than others.
Yeah.
So my guess
Although it
is
is the
by
only
like...
place where you can see battle and secure.
Yep. Which means those are
As
just harder
opposed to, like, influence shows up on a few cards, repair shows up on a few cards. Builds, I'm pretty sure, is only on 1 card.
Mm-hmm.
And move also shows up in other cards. So move is not unique to aggression.
Yeah, build is construction only, tax is administration only, move is mobilization and aggression, repair is construction and administration, influence is mobilization and administration, secure and battle are aggression only. Which means not only are those 2 aggression only, but 2 of the 3 aggression actions are exclusive to aggression. So aggression has a lot of... It has the very few actions and a lot of choices that only it can do.
What do I want to do?
Because, yeah, it's like you can go at a higher number, or it's like you can change to something else or whatever. But you only get 1.
Oh, right. I can do that. I forgot about that. Yeah, okay. I know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do... what was the new card again?
Yeah, I should probably check that too. Galactic Bards.
Oh, I like
Almost that. Galactic Baron. When you
so I think what I will do...
What does it cost to declare an ambition, or is it nothing?
So when you play the lead card, you just put the declare ambition marker over it.
Okay.
What that means is your card becomes a 0, which means it's easier to surpass.
And so taking populist demands will allow you to avoid that cost.
And the other cost is your ambition must match the thing in the corner. So you can only declare an ambition by playing a lead card with that ambition on it. Which is something to consider when you're playing a card. So let's say you really want to... let's say you really want to declare an ambition for, say, Warlord. In order to declare the Warlord ambition, you actually need to go get a card with this symbol on it. Which we'll point out also matches the trophies box and will match the symbol on the card.
Yep.
Okay, I think I want to play this card, or do I want this one? I wonder why this only works half the time. My Alt Zoom is only sometimes working.
I just hold down the Alt key and I can see the card.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. It's not working quite right.
Weird.
I don't know. I'll just ignore it. So I'm definitely going to pivot, I decided. I'm just deciding what to pivot into. I think I will pivot into administration.
Yep.
Oh no, mobilization. That's
mobilization, yeah.
So, pivoting, I only get to take one action, even though there's 3 pips.
Yep.
However, I may spend a resource. I'm going to spend this relic. Take extra actions. So that relic lets me take the secure action.
Which would allow you to theoretically take, I'm guessing, this card.
Yeah, the only card I could take is this one, so I will secure this.
Yep.
Which gives me nice psionic abilities. I think it's my agent back. And then I will take... I'm deciding if I want to spend a second resource for another thing. I don't believe I'm in a position where I want to do that. No. Although I do know what I need to do in the future. So we'll get to that later. Okay. And then using my administration action, I'm going to... First off, what's the new card?
Material Cartel.
Oh, this is an interesting one. Material Cartel. He basically makes you the ruler of the material supply.
Yep.
So all of those count towards your end of chapter scoring. However, you don't actually own them.
Yep.
This one was a very hotly stolen card in the previous game I played.
Yeah.
Because we were all going for Tycoon, and that was worth a lot of stuff towards Tycoon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think I'm going to... I need to influence. I'm going to... This is using my pivot action. I'm going to influence this guy.
Fair.
And that is the end of my turn now.
Okay.
So you keep initiative, because I did not surpass you with a higher card.
Cool.
And let's hope the end round button works. Yeah, it's still complaining. I think there's an object here that maybe I forgot to enable. So we're currently playing in the don't reveal cards after they're played mode, so you just have to remember them.
Mobilization 2.
Oof. That's a lot of mobilization.
I know. Too bad there's not much I want to mobilize. I don't want to move anything really right now, because I can't build anymore. Everything. What? Yeah, that's what I was going to do, is grab 4 agents and influence every single card. Making sure to put 2 on that card so it's harder for you to take it. And that is my turn.
That is, something.
Yep. Alright, I could do that. Okay, I'm going to spend a material, which I believe is what lets me build.
Yeah, you would have done that. Technically, you would have done that before you did the mobilization.
Yeah.
The key thing where it matters here is you can't move and then build.
Yeah.
But you could build and then move.
Yep, it's fine. I didn't want to move and then build anyway.
In this case, no new information was gained. Nothing happened. So
Yeah, I realized it afterwards. I'm like, oh, whoops, whatever.
Yeah. Generally speaking, if nothing changes as a result of you doing the action, then undoing and redoing.
No. Okay, that's it. Your turn.
You just spent a material to build?
Yep, sent a material to make another ship.
I think what I'm going to do... let me check where I live right now. I live there. I live there. And I live...
You and I control very different resources.
I think what I want to do is move over there.
Yeah, nobody has fuel.
Fuel is what I need. So let's go get some fuel. My next turn is going to suck. How badly do I want it to suck is the question.
Yep. I'm guessing you don't have another movement card, likely.
Yeah, because of what you played here, I'm actually seeing, oh, I wanted that mobilization card that I played last time.
You know the worst part? Guess what suit my other two cards are.
More mobilization.
So guess who's not getting initiative, but also guess whose turn just sucks. The rest of this chapter is gonna suck ass for both of us.
Yeah, and I might just lose I might have to lose a round in order to do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Because all I can do is influence and move pieces. That's it. There's a reason I said, wow,
you're gonna lose your resources quick, aren't you?
What?
You're gonna lose your resources if you just spend them all.
If I just spend them all, I'm gonna have nothing. Yeah, I'd rather not do that if I can help it. Because I can't replace them very quickly at all.
That's useful.
Given that tax is not something you can do from resources, which makes sense. You can't spend a resource to get a resource.
That is temporarily useless.
Oh, I see why psionic is the least important, because we don't have leads.
We don't have what?
We don't have leaders.
What do you mean by that?
Psionic
has taken action of the lead card.
What's the lead card? Oh,
mobilization.
Ah, okay.
Which I can... Oh, I can spend any resource as psionic. That changes my plans.
Yep, you can spend any of these as a psionic to do more
I can move or mobilize. Ooh, that helps me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In that case...
Yeah.
I think I want to do
move or
that.
Influence, you mean?
Yeah, move or influence. Yeah. In that case, I think I want to pivot instead of copying.
And then how do I use my card?
Let's see, what do you craft?
Synthesize build. Is it when
whenever you take a build action, you may, instead of building, just gain 1 fuel.
Got it.
Or, during the prelude, which is before you take your action with your pips, you can just discard this card to get a ton of fuel.
Yep.
This basically, if you have enough cities revealed, if you reveal 1 more city, this is basically just empty out the entire fuel supply.
If I do that, or if I discard one of these.
Yeah. Because our fuel supply is shortened because of 2-player game.
Yep. And that would be very bad for Tycoon.
And I want...
Since you have all the materials, but I have all the fuel. And at the moment, there's only 2 material building places, and they're both taken, it looks like. In fact, I think there's 3 weapons.
I'm definitely pivoting. And I'm definitely spending a weapon.
Mm-hmm. To use as psychic.
Although I'm spending that weapon as a psionic.
Yep, to do a move. So one move,
so I can
one
do a
construction.
Move and build. The one thing I'm undecided on is, do I spend a second card to seize the initiative? Because that will mean one of my turns is going to suck.
Yep.
However, the other option is you keep the initiative, which means both of my turns are going to suck.
Yep. And my turns are going to just suck no matter what.
I don't like either of these options. I think this is the answer, so I'm going to seize the initiative.
Yep.
With this card. I guess I should have seized the initiative before I played my weapon down. There we go. Okay, so first off, I take the action of my weapon. The weapon I'm using as psionic, which means I get to take either a move or an influence action. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move... Where are all my guys? Do I want to move there or do I want to move there? I feel like this double planet's probably the better one to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go for that one.
Not this double planet.
I want fuel.
I was gonna say, you already have relics.
Yeah, I already have relics. I want fuel right
Those
now.
are
I mean, this would give me more relics,
Those
which
are
would be
my
great.
ships. Use your ships.
Oh, that's a good point. I played red last game. Alternatively, maybe instead of moving from there, I can move from here using a nice catapult move.
Yep.
Which one is more important to defend? I'd say that one. Okay.
Yeah, because that one's a starport, so if I control it, I can't tax it.
And now I get to build. I'm going to build a city. Alright, I moved, I've built. That is my actions. My turn is over.
Cool.
So I seize the initiative. I will take that guy. I guess this guy being face down means it seize, which just tells you can't seize it again. So we're playing in a game with more than 2 players. As soon as somebody seizes the initiative, the next player is not allowed to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're not allowed to seize the initiative as the lead. The best you can do as the lead is you play a high number.
Can you do it in the next round at least?
Yeah, next round you can seize the initiative again.
That's what I thought, okay.
Just for the given round, only one player can seize the initiative.
Yeah,
so as soon as somebody does it, nobody else can have the option. Okay, so I'm going to end the round here. We get our script error again. Hopefully that's meaningless. And now I get to lead for this. There's 2 more rounds. I get to lead for the first round. And one thing I emphasize here, you are not allowed to not play a card in a round.
Yep.
So if you have a card, you must play one.
Yep.
And every card is always playable. Worst case, you just play it face down as a copy. If it's not playable, to surpass or pivot.
Yep.
In this case, I'm leading. I should check we're leading. Do I want to declare this ambition? Probably not. Yeah, I don't want to declare that.
Yep,
so I had the option to tax or repair or influence.
My current turn just got a lot better.
Oh, did it? Did you like the card I played?
And it's better than Mobilization 6 or Mobilization 4.
Oh, you're gonna copy, aren't you?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I? You can't do anything next turn. What do I need with 5 mobilization actions? Or I guess 4.
You get to influence a ton, don't you?
I don't have enough people to do that. I've only got 6 left.
You put all 6 of them on the board.
I'm just influencing all these cards. The guild is just monopolized by me.
Okay, so I'm going to... I definitely want to tax.
Crappy first round hand.
Actually, you know what? I think I need to spend a material here to build.
If I copy, do I get all 3 actions or just 1?
You get just 1 action for copying.
That's what I thought.
I want to double check an ordering thing. Basically, I want to check if I spend the resource, can I get it back through tax? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter with this round, so I'll check after I'm done with my turn. I'm going to build. Do you want to build twice? So I'm going to do a tax, and I guess a 3rd tax. Or do I double influence? I feel like influencing more is useful. Too many options. Too many things I want to do. If I do influence, I get to influence twice. And then tax twice. That seems reasonable. I'm going to spend everything I own. Or I can influence, tax. Yeah, we'll do it that way. I'm going to use my 2 material. And using my psionic, those material are going to count as psionic. Which means I can use them to tax or to repair or influence. I will influence twice. Start things off. And then I will With my 3 remaining actions, I will tax 3 times. So I'm going to tax my relic city. I'm going to tax my fuel city. And I'm going to tax my material city. And let me arrange these. I want that, I think. We'll do that one. Let me double check that everything I did was legal. Yep, okay. I think everything's good. So you are copying?
Mm-hmm. Unless we do one admin action.
Yep. And you may also spend resources now if you wish.
Yep.
So like if you spend your psionic, you could do a second admin action here.
Yeah, tax or repair or influence.
Or your weapon would let you turn one of your pips into a battle, which you can't battle anywhere right now.
Yeah, no, that doesn't mean anything. So yeah, psionic. Meow. Didn't ask your opinion. If we don't declare any ambitions this round, is that because ambitions per chapter, right? Or is it at the end of the game?
Yeah, per chapter. So it just means nobody scores.
Mm-hmm.
Which is perfectly fine. In this case, I think neither of us is really in a position to try for an ambition.
Especially
because maybe your other card has
my last remaining card, let's see, this one was a empath, which I couldn't have gone for anyway because I don't have enough to beat the neutral.
Yep.
And my last one's Warlord, which doesn't matter because I literally cannot attack to get the Warlord.
Also, Warlord, you need to beat 1 in order to get the Warlord anyways.
Yeah, so I can't declare at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, might as well use this then. And take 2 admins. Ayla, your food is on your plate. Go eat it.
Do to move or tax or repair. Oh, no, tax or repair or influence.
Yeah, influence is not worth it when I have I have 3 mobilization pips whenever I go next. And there's nothing to repair, so it's just 2 tax actions. Which, at the moment, I have psionic.
Weapon, material, and psionic, I think. No, you have weapon, you have psionic. I think you just have 2 cities.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I think what I did is I can spend a psionic to get a psionic.
That seems a little redundant, but okay.
Yep. But then I get the weapon. I did say
you can rearrange your resources, though.
What?
That's the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, alternatively, is that relevant? No, never mind. You can't do that right now.
Alright. And then... That's
Are you done with your turn?
Yep.
So I'll click the end round button.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now, I have initiative, but I have no cards. So I pass initiative clockwise to the next player.
Yep.
So I'll click the take initiative button. It won't actually let me pass it because it won't move. Yeah, click take initiative from the control panel, or you can cheat and ignore the scripting.
Yep, 4
You're not really
mobilization.
You're
Okay.
going to take remove or influence actions.
Yep.
Are you going to try to out-influence me, or are you going to just get your guys in better positions to do future stuff? You're going to try and out-influence me.
So that's 2. And then for the third one... that. And I end my turn. Wait, hang on. Because the battle needs to be resolved first, so no.
What happened?
I was going to say, if I spend a weapon, I can do a battle, but then I remember, wait, no, because the battle has to be resolved before the move, right?
Let me check that one.
Like,
Weapons are weird.
this turn, your action card lets you battle.
I think you don't have to. You can move and then battle.
Okay, in that case, I would have wanted to spend the thingy.
Okay, spend it. I mean, I have nothing against that.
Okay, I want to do this. I want to do a murder.
Alright. Why are you doing a murdering? But if you're going to do that, that means you only get 3 actions. So you can't do that double influence there.
Oh, it's one of the... it's one of them spends it? Okay.
The weapon doesn't give you an extra action. Weapon just lets you take a battle instead of one of the actions.
That's fine.
So you're just doing single influence then?
Yep.
Alright. And then you did a move, and then you're doing a battle. And you're battling where?
The only place I can.
I mean, you could have moved and battled. You have this space gate here, which could let you move to battle somewhere else.
Yeah, but it's funnier to battle here.
Alright. How many die do you want to roll, and which variety?
I'm going to...
You have the ability to use raid dice.
Yep.
Just note that that puts you at the risk of outraging fuel.
Because if I damage the building, it's outrage automatically, right?
Yeah, so important thing, damaging the building is okay. But if you kill the building, that is outrage.
I got it. So if I roll one raid dice...
building hit, you have
so
no
what
choice
I'm going to do
but
is
to use hit.
I'm going to do 1 raid and 2 skirmish, I think would work.
Alright.
Okay, and roll.
This is our first battle. Let's see what happens.
1 attack, 1 building damage, 1 self-damage.
So first off, take one of your ships and damage them. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
No intercept happened. Mm-hmm. You may damage one of my ships.
Yep.
Your choice.
That one.
And then, you may damage my building. Oh, right, I should say, you must damage my building.
Yep.
And that is the end of the battle.
Yep, that was boring.
I think that because you went with the skirmish and the raid, that made it very unlikely you were going to actually remove any pieces.
Oh, yeah.
However, it also meant you kept your losses to somewhat minimum.
What I should have done is 1 of each, but it's fine.
Potentially. But hey.
I mean, by should I mean it would have been funnier, not that it would have been optimal.
That's going to cost me some actions to come back from.
Yep.
Although I could also just decide to abandon that city.
It's also true.
It'd be you getting outrage on fuel, which is a pretty... Honestly, outrage on most of these is pretty bad.
Well, if I stop attacking, I can just sit here and keep taxing it for fuel anyway and stealing your agents.
If you would have killed that city,
you
could have also used that to immediately claim this Galactic Bards.
It's true.
Which would have given you 3 captives, which would have been enough to take that warlord.
But then it would have also pissed off fuel.
Yep. Which is the trade-off there.
Whereas my goal is just that I want to... right now, I control the city, so I can start taxing it.
Yeah, although I will point out, you controlling it doesn't prevent me from taxing it.
Yes, that is correct.
I think I have to double check, is taxing per round or per turn?
It's per turn. It's per turn.
Per turn sounds right. Easier to remember.
I guess, let me see here. Tax. You cannot tax a city more than once per turn, and I think turn is your turn.
Yeah, turn is individual player.
Yeah.
So, that makes sense. They don't like having things where you have to remember things that aren't in your current turn. If you have to remember something, they always have a marker for it.
Yep. Okay, so reset.
Yeah, so what happens now?
We end round, and we're out of turns, so I think the chapter is resolved.
Yep, the chapter progresses. So, scoring, we did not declare any ambitions, but we do flip over the lowest ambition, so now the 2 has become 4.
Yep.
And everything else stays the same. Our guys stay over here on the guild cards. If you had any captives or trophies, they remain in your boxes, because we didn't declare either of those. And we both get a new set of 6 cards, which I think this button will give us. Perfect. Let's put this weapon away. So, you had initiative at the end of the last round, so you get to start.
Whoa.
And that means I don't have initiative. Let me decide before you do that whether I want to discard this and draw a new one.
I mean, it's a slightly better hand, but not what I was hoping for. Distant Horizon, thank you for the raid. Welcome to playing games. Shout out quickly. How was Uden Chronicles?
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep this hand.
Okay. It's okay.
I mean, it's probably garbage. I have no idea what a good hand looks like yet.
A good hand is not entirely mobilization, I'll say that.
That is probably true.
It might be useful late game, but early game, there's just nothing to do. Look at this bullshit.
Well, it does mean you have potential to get a lot of captives there. But so do I.
Yeah, I saw there was a monster race that was going on. That was funny. Reminds me of Dragon Quest slime races.
All right.
in
So
Dune
since I've
Chronicles.
decided against, is it Mulligan? I don't know what they call it.
Yeah.
I've decided against doing that. You can start with your initiative.
Whoa, what do I want to do first? I think...
So yeah, to the people just joining us, the way the actions work in this game is whoever has initiative will play a card, and everybody else can either follow suit to take a larger number of actions, or they can play
something
off to take a different
stupid.
action. You are starting with aggression.
Yes.
Interesting. Are you securing, or are you battling, or are you moving?
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna try that raid again, aren't you?
Uh-huh. I can't secure this card, right? Because I don't actually have more than you do anymore.
You do not.
Yeah, so I would have to
However,
secure
if you would influence it, then you could secure it after that.
Yes, but unfortunately, I don't believe I can influence in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, the only resource I would let you influence is Psionic, and only if the lead card is influenced.
Exactly.
So if you had a Psionic and a Relic, you could influence and then secure in the same turn.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Do I want any of these cards? Yes, I do. I'm going to take populist demands.
So these two you could just secure directly.
Yep.
This one you could potentially obtain via aggression. So if you attack me and
not
destroy my
worth it.
city,
I'm going to take populist demands. Although, if I take this, though, I can't declare Warlord because I haven't actually done anything yet, right?
No, there's no reason. You can declare it.
Okay.
It's just
I'm declaring
currently,
it.
Warlord is neutral.
Alright, then I'm going to declare... I'm going to take populist demands and declare Warlord.
Let's see. The one thing I'll mention about Voxes, when discarded, they are just permanently removed from the game.
Yep, so no more populist
If I remember
demands.
correctly, guild cards when discarded go into the
which
stack
one of these do I do? The biggest one or do whatever?
Yes.
Or what?
So the biggest one, you have to choose that. It goes on Warlord. It should snap to the middle.
Yep. Well, it was letting me go anywhere, so I was wondering. So I need at least one victory to tie, and I need to kill at least one of your ships to tie and 2 to take it, correct?
Correct.
Alright, then in that case, we're going to have some fun here.
And I'll point out, if you want to get your city bonuses to place 2 more cities, this city bonus only applies if you win, not if you tie.
Yeah. Which city bonus?
So when you place 2 more cities, you'll get a bonus here.
Yeah.
+2 to 1 ambitions, or 3 more cities will get you +2 to 1 ambitions.
Yeah.
That bonus only applies if you win, not if you get 2nd place.
That's fair.
And tying counts as 2nd place.
Alright, let's roll the dice. I did 3 assaults this time.
3 assault dice.
What could go wrong?
Well, you can destroy the building.
I take 2 damage, and then I will do 5 hits.
Yeah, you destroy everything.
Okay.
You are outraged and on fuel. Congratulations.
Yay! 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, everyone's dead. Here are your ships.
That is wrong.
No, that's right. They go in my cap.
You take my ships. I don't take my ships.
Right. I have trophies.
And you get my city too.
I get your city as a trophy?
You do.
Okay. Okay, I'll take your city.
Don't ask how that works.
Okay, I just take your city and I go boop. And I have 3 wounded ships. Which means I can't do a second battle, oh well.
I mean, what are you battling there?
I wanted to attack you again, but it doesn't matter.
I'm not there anymore. I'm dead.
Scylla, also thank you for the raid. Welcome to Shenanigans.
Baron just attacked and destroyed my city. You must resolve outrage now.
I murdered people. I must... Okay, yeah, so I need to lose all the fuel I don't have, including the fact that I have shipping interest.
Yep, you lose shipping interest.
Which is good. I lose the card?
You do.
Oh, because it counts as that. Okay.
It is a fuel icon. You would lose that.
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay, I will lose the card. That is good to know.
Of that?
Can I shout out Scylla yet? Give me a second. Has it been long enough since the last raid? Welcome. How were the many games you played today? There we go. Okay, so discard the card, which I think just goes back in here, correct?
Yeah, just put it somewhere up here. We'll shuffle it back in at the end of the chapter.
Yep. Playing a new game here.
Leave it face up so we remember which is which.
This is a creator that my brother and I play other games of, and now we're playing this one. It's a space game where you try to dick everybody
You
over.
also take one of your agents and place it on fuel.
Yep.
Just as a reminder, you can't use fuel anymore.
Yep.
And I will point out, this agent is permanently there, so you're down on agent as part of outrage.
Yep. Because you gotta keep them contained.
There is a general rule in this game that if you run out of something, you just can't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
One exception is when outraging. If you run out of agents, you can still outrage on that. You just place a temporary piece there, and then place an agent on there later.
Bastards, they would think
Yes,
of that.
they specifically did not let you just run out of agents to not outrage.
That is it for my turn. I have pissed everyone off. We're good.
Actually, wait, you have one more thing you can do.
Huh. Oh, wait,
Do you wish to ransack the court?
Yeah, because I can just take one of these. Yeah, I do this.
This is the only reason why outrage is good. You may take any card with my guys on it.
Mm-hmm, which is that one.
And then every single guy that is your agent, you get to return to your supply. Anybody that's not becomes a captive.
Yep.
It becomes a trophy.
Hang on. Oh, it becomes a trophy?
They go into trophy.
Damn it, I wanted trophies and captives.
If you wanted captives, you would have had to take that the normal way.
Yeah, it's sad, because it means I have to return them when this is over, because I declared a thingy.
Yep, that is correct.
I was really hoping, but I guess I'm just gonna get Tyrant.
The reason is because of ransacking the court is literally you just sent your military guys to the court where they're deciding who gets that policy, and you just took it over and captured
draw a card. Let's see what...
You didn't actually capture it, but you killed everybody there.
We got a Vox, Song of Freedom. You may return any one city you control to its player board. If you do so, you may seize the initiative. Shuffle this card in the court deck. You can't see initiative. You've already been seized this right. Okay. Okay, that's my turn. Your turn.
Well, that changes a lot of things.
Yes, it does. That broke everything.
Okay, so I've got...
I'm going to post this in the chat if anyone's curious to understand what the hell we're doing.
You're posting a link to the rulebook?
Yep.
No one's going to read the rulebook.
Some of the friends I have will read the rulebook. Others won't, but some of them might. Oh, hey, it's my Twitch theme. If anyone's curious, there's the PDF rulebook. You can download it from there and read it. Or read it in your browser. Either way.
Okay.
I scanned it. The link is safe. Feel free to scan
it.
Yourself.
Battle or secure. That's the actions from there.
I'm also guessing that because I have 6, you're probably not going to beat me in trophies.
Yeah, probably not.
You could get second.
I mean, I could always go out aggressive against you.
You could. But given that I don't have any influence right now, you'd probably have to go after... You have to go after... Nothing I have ties that, so you have to go for at least 2 targets. You'd have to go all out aggressive. Do you have the 6 aggression card is my other question.
That is a good question. And if I do have it, do I wish to use it?
Yeah.
What's going on in the court over here?
Mm-hmm.
We got Loyal Keepers. You may spend anything as relics. Okay. And we have Song of Freedom. Or we have the Material Cartel.
Yep, which hasn't been claimed so far.
I think what I want to do is that. But I also need to be thinking about end of chapter goals.
Mm-hmm.
These resources on everything, just like Tycoon is so hard to do in 2 players.
Yeah. Because almost half the you basically need to control all of the remaining resources to score Tycoon.
Yep.
I did notice that it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's that mean?
I don't. Those might be the numbers that correspond to what lets you declare it.
Huh.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
So
3s let you declare Tyrant.
That makes sense. Yeah. And that also is why they have you take the 1 and 7 cards out and not the 2 through 6, because 1 is always the lowest and 7's always the highest.
1 and 7 don't let you declare ambitions, if I remember. Or maybe one of them let you declare any ambition you wish.
I believe it's 7 lets you declare any, whereas 1...
1 was just no option for ambition.
I think that's correct.
That sounds right.
I'm checking.
We only use those in 4-player games, if I remember correctly.
Correct. Yeah, 1 is no ambition, 7 is any ambition. And 2 through 6 are matching ambition.
I've got that and that for my planets that I still control, material, and relics. For my cities, I've got a weapon spaceport. That's good to know. I definitely need to build, but I don't think building is in the cards right now.
Yeah, you don't have anywhere you control to build. You would need to move first.
No, not that sort of building.
Oh, spaceship still.
Yeah. Although building spaceships is not in the cards right now because well, you didn't lead with the build suit, so
Nope.
I can't follow with build unless I spend like a lot of resources.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not worth it
I
right
forget,
now.
if you're going to swap to something else, does it have to be higher, or could it be anything?
It doesn't matter. Anything.
Okay.
And you get one action regardless of what you played. And the only card only really matters in case of effects like your guild card over here.
Mm-hmm.
This, when you surpass or pivot, you could then use when you pivot, you can declare the ambition at the bottom.
And then I'm guessing the other problem you have right now is you're not in a position to battle because there's nowhere we're both in anymore, and you're not in a position to seize because you don't have any tokens.
I could battle. I could if I wanted to spend a bunch of moves in order to battle you.
Yeah.
It's just a question of, is there any place where it's worth battling you?
And I guess you only have one fuel to move. So you'd have to move, like, say, from here to here.
Oh no, I could spend all of these to move if I wished.
Why?
The reason is I can spend anything as psionic, and the lead card has move on it.
Oh, right, because aggression has a move. Completely forgot that aggression has a move action. It's one not so mean thing, but typically, why would you waste it?
Battle.
Typically, why would you waste aggression on move unless you have to?
Well, the reason you'd use it is you use the move to battle.
Yep.
So I spend 2 aggression.
But if I'm correct, every single move or every single aggression card only has a 2 on it, unless maybe the 2 has a 3.
I think I know what I need to do here. How would I accomplish this?
Mm-hmm.
I would need to copy, I think, in order to accomplish that. What do I give up for copy? I think I give up this card for copy. That's gross. I never know whether I give up low cards or high cards. It's just...
Because you never know what the other player or players have.
Yep. I might also need to seize the initiative here. Oh, this is terrible. Hang on with your life over here. Interesting. Very interesting. And then my life over here. That's not helpful right now, but that will be helpful later. Material. I don't want to spend my material for that, but I think I have to. I can always tax later.
Sure.
We'll hold on to that. We'll hold on to that.
The good news is I don't need to worry whether to spend low or high cards. Because math. It literally does not matter which one I spend for any of my categories.
Do I need to seize the initiative is the big question now.
Long story short, every single card I have, I also have the card immediately above or below it, etc. There's no gaps whatsoever. Like, I have a bunch of 3s. I have a 3 and 4. So it doesn't matter whether I play the 3 or the 4, really, because if you have the 5, you're going first.
Yeah, I need to seize the initiative. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm spending a resource, I think, but just the one.
So you're spending 2 cards and a resource.
Yep. This is a very brutal turn.
Yes.
But then it'll make next turn nice.
Yep.
So that's all that matters. So for next turn's sake, I'm going to spend the material.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm spending that material as a psionic, which means that it counts as a move or battle.
Yep.
And because I copied, I get a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to be bold.
Mm-hmm.
How many hits do I need here? What are my odds? 2 dice. 2 dice is good odds. But 3 dice would be nearly guaranteed. So I think I need 3 dice.
Yeah.
This is probably a bad move. We're doing it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hello.
We are battling you.
Yay.
I'll point out I'm not allowed to use raid dice here because you have no buildings.
Yep.
However,
You can do assault.
I'm doing a big assault.
Yay! This will be fun. Murder! Oof!
According to this, I take 1 hit because all your ships are damaged. This target for intercept means nothing.
Yep.
So I take 1 hit, you take 4.
Mm-hmm. So
Which is
all my ships are dead.
This is what I wanted. I saw your ship's damage here and thought, that looks like something I need to take advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
Because this means you just are down 3 ships now, which is brutal.
Yep. So we're both
and it
down.
also means I get points for Warlord.
The good news is you're also down
the
ships, so we're kind of even, almost.
Yeah. I mean, you killed 2 of my ships, I killed 3 of yours.
And I killed your city, which is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like dead cities are just as good as live cities sometimes.
In regards to having slots open, it can be useful. You can't tax them, but eh.
Yeah, cities are weird. It's almost like it's better to have your opponent to have a city than for you to have a city.
Yeah.
There's so many weird things about cities. They just are so backwards.
Yeah, cities definitely, it's like they're better because you can take operatives from them, so it's better to have your opponent's cities all on the board and your cities not on the board so that you can't lose your operatives to them.
Yep.
But you also want your cities not in your hand.
Let me seize the initiative there. So I killed your ships. That's the end of my turn there.
Yep.
And I also seize the initiative, which means I get to start for the next turn.
Yep.
So let's end round. We get our script error again. And I think I'm going to open up with construction. What is the ambition here? Captives. I do not think captives is worth declaring right now. I could potentially get captives, but it'd be annoying.
Yeah. There's not really an easy way to get captives at the moment.
So with construction, I get 3 construction actions. If I wanted, I could take a 4th construction action by spending a psionic, or I could do a move before my construction by spending a psionic. Or I can also use construction to build, so I get in total 3 actions. I think what I want to do...
Should this be back upright because it's a new round, so it's no longer seized?
Doesn't matter, yeah.
It does because I noticed you can't seize initiative if it's lying on its side.
Oh, that's probably what that button does, yeah. So it should be back upright.
Because when I tried seizing it before, it wasn't letting me.
Does that. Do I build a city? I think I need this city here. So that's going to be one of my builds. Do I need to spend a resource to help with this? I think I should. So that would give me another build. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need that relic for later. Okay. So it's 4 builds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where do I want to move? No, I want to build. So I'm going to build a city and a spaceport. That was 2 of my builds, and then I'm going to build 2 ships. And that's all my actions. So it is your turn.
Cool.
You may construction, or you may continue, you may pivot away.
Let's see here. I'm going to... Let's see. Yeah, that's probably the smartest play at the moment. I'm going to... Can you build 2 cities in the same planet?
If it has multiple slots, then yes.
Okay, that's what I was...
This one only has 1 slot. Oh, yeah, you use the other. Yeah, you could build a second city here.
I'm going to copy.
Copy.
And I'm also going to seize initiative.
You're seizing. Quite rude.
Okay, when you surpass or pay before taking any action, you may declare the ambition on your played card. Ambition has not been declared yet this round, which doesn't matter here. Don't place the 0 marker. So, ambition has been declared this round, so Galactic Bards doesn't even come into play.
Ambition was not declared this round.
Oh, right, this round. then which ambition would I even bother with?
Well, if you want to do this, you must either surpass or pivot. You can't do this with copy.
Oh, right, duh.
So in order to do this, it's basically just doing the ambition on the card you played.
Yep. It's upside down, so of course you wouldn't know, so you have no clue what I played.
It's upside down, I don't know what card you played, thus you can't use that.
Okay, then yeah, if I do 1 construction, do I want to spend anything? Only one I would do is, in theory, I could do a psychic, but I don't think that I will. I can build or I can repair. So
I think you have
I'm
nothing
going
to repair.
What?
You have nothing to repair from what I see.
So the build, I'm going to build this.
Second city?
Yep. And I'm not going to do the psychic, so that's 1 build, and that's the end of my turn.
Alright.
And
you seize. So it is your turn now.
Initiative.
See how this game ends.
And round.
Round
Alright, I'm going to do 3 administration.
Oh. And are you going to declare that ambition?
No.
Well, that's captives. You probably don't want that.
I don't have captives, and I would have a hard time getting them at the moment. Tax, repair, or influence. Alright, so I'm going to tax and grab some empathy. And then I'm going to tax, because it's tax, repair, I can't repair, and then there's influence. So tax, and then I'm going to tax again, and grab some empathy. And then I'm going to tax, and grab some weapons. From here. Because that's a starport, so I can't grab any materials. So there's empathy. And that's my turn.
A lot of psionics there.
What? I do.
You got a lot of psionics.
And that's my turn.
Alright. I am going to surpass.
Yep.
I love that I have this card. It's very helpful to me.
Yeah, you definitely have higher numbers than I have. But that's actually kind of okay, honestly.
Wait till next round. I get to tax or repair or influence. So I think I wanted to tax this round. Tax twice. And I specifically wanted... I think I wanted a fuel and a relic. Do I want a material instead? I definitely want a relic. And I also... fuel or material. Let me claim material. And... yeah, I think that's my turn.
Okay. And
So,
since you
I now
surpassed, you
get
have
to-
the initiative.
I have initiative.
Yep. Your move.
Now I need to
2
think about how this
cards.
round's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to do this. I don't need to do those. So I'll do that. It's lifelike over here. Song of Freedom is such a weird card.
Mm-hmm.
It just lets you seize the initiative and remove a city. Which I guess I could use it to remove my own city if I wanted to. Yeah, I need to control the city. It doesn't say it can't be my city, though. I could use that to remove a city from the board to place it elsewhere, I guess. That's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yep, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The order here is gonna throw me.
That's how that works. So when you declare an ambition, are you able to? You're able to still use the card, but it turns into a 0, basically.
Yep.
That makes sense. Are you debating declaring an ambition of some kind? I'm assuming.
No. I'm deciding. I have 2 cards I might lead with. They both give me a different set of actions.
Got it.
I believe this is what I want to lead with, though.
2 in administration.
And I also want to do that.
Yeah.
And then I guess we'll see what happens for the rest of it.
True.
So, what I'm going to do, place an agent over here, using my psionic ability. The psionic takes an action of the lead card, and then I use my relic, and the relic lets me take this card.
Loyal Keepers. You provoke outrage, keep this
I'm pretty
card.
sure that I understood that correctly. I want to double check that what I just do was legal. Psionic is an action before my pips, not as part of the pips.
So you've got relics and psionic. Yeah, the problem was I thought my fuel card was one of these, and it wasn't, so that's why I was.
Yeah, your fuel card's a different card.
Yep.
That fuel card, I used it a very good way in the last game. I got a ton of fuel. Well, I think I had the material version of that one. I had a bunch of slots open, so I just filled it all with material, and then immediately just spammed those on one of my other cards to get stuff. Okay, new card. Choose a cluster on the map. Place 1 ship in each system of that cluster. Discard this card. Ooh, I want that. I have 4 actions that may be used to influence and tax.
But not secure.
Not secure, although I could secure next round, potentially, if I get enough influence.
Yep.
So here's the gamble. The most you could possibly do here... Oh, you have 3 psionics sitting there. You could influence potentially up to 6 times.
Yep.
So I'm not going to be able to outgun you, but I could at least you're not going to spend that many resources, because you spending those 3 psionics is a lot just to get a few ships. Who knows?
Yep.
I should also check. I want to declare this ambition. I don't think I do. Tycoon, I need to get 4 in order to do anything there. I guess I could declare the ambition if I tried to claim the Material Cartel. Material Cartel could get me that. But without it, I don't think I'm getting that. Okay. So there's that. So I'm going to influence twice and tax twice, I think. I don't want to tax 3 times and influence once. Alright, let's see. Definitely
also
taxing...
interesting that this Vox card is shuffled into the court deck.
I definitely want a relic, I think. And I definitely want fuel or material. I think material I should get. Probably also tax fuel.
Fair.
So, okay, I've got those 2 things. And then I think I'm going to influence twice. Okay. So that is my actions.
Fair enough.
So now are you going to...
I'm going to pivot.
Oh, you're going to pivot.
Yes.
Are you spending any resources?
I'm going to spend a psychic resource, which will allow me to do one of these actions. And I'm going to, because of my galactic bards, I'm going to declare an ambition.
And that means you're declaring...
Oh, wait, right, Tyrant.
That would be a Tyrant. Is Tyrant what you want?
It's the only choice I have, because my other card is not going to do what I need to.
You don't have to declare the ambition if you don't want to.
I'm going to declare the ambition.
Okie dokie.
Mostly because that way if you declare an ambition on your final round, you get the 3 and not the 2, so haha. And then for my actions, one of them has to be move and or influence. It will be an influence, because I don't really need to move right now. And I'm going to place one on here. And then I will, for my psionic, which lets me do any of the leads, tax or repair or influence, I'm going to do an influence. And I'm going to take one here. I can almost guarantee you're going to try to take that card, so putting an one agent there is a waste.
No, put it there so I can get the captive.
Exactly. You don't need captives because I just put tyrants on the captives. So I'm going to put this here. Yes. And that is it for my turn.
That does some interesting things to my turn.
Yep. But
that does some very interesting things indeed.
You keep the initiative, so...
Yeah, me keeping the initiative is what makes it so interesting.
I have no way to steal the initiative. I had none.
You want to see what I got?
What?
Mobilization.
Nice. Excellent.
I should have done this in the other order, but
Mm-hmm.
Mobilization it
well,
is.
if you'd done that, I could have just taken the initiative.
I'm doing that.
Yep, you're burning all your resources.
I'm gonna spend 2 of them are copying my base card to get me 2 more influence actions.
Mm-hmm. So you have 6 influence.
So I'm gonna, well, first off, it's influence. I'm gonna influence, and then I'm gonna influence, and then I spend my relic to seize this card and take a captive.
Material Cartel?
Yep, Material Cartel. The Material Cartel is nice, but I really did that because I wanted a captive.
Mm-hmm.
Because you gave me that nice, that motivation for captives. So, let's reveal the new card, and let me talk about Material Cartel briefly, because it's a weird one. Okay, first off, Loyal Engineers. You may spend any resources as material.
Yeah,
another one of those. We've got, like, the full set out here.
God.
Okay, so that card that I just claimed...
You keep the material supply on here, you add it to Tycoon but can't spend it. After scoring, rivals discard all materials.
I now have 3 material. Why do I have 3?
Because there's an extra one that's hidden in there, if I recall correctly. It keeps vanishing inside there.
No, apparently I have 1 material without that. Oh, because of Material Cartel itself. Yeah, I see. Material Cartel itself is a material, and then I have a stack of 2 here.
Got it.
And then you have 1 material. Nope, you don't.
No, I don't. So one's
Where is that?
One's missing. It keeps going missing.
Oh no, I spent it. That's what happened to
that's
it.
Why. Okay.
I see. Everything makes sense now. Okay. So this new card, yeah, that new card looks kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
So do I want to remove a city to seize and possibly pick up some captives, or do I want to? Yeah, I think I want to place a couple agents on the new card. I think I also want to move. I'm not very well positioned on this map. The problem is... Oh yeah, catapult moves. I love catapult moves. So I do a catapult move like that. And then a move like that. So 2 moves is what I want to do. 2 moves and 2 influence. Okay, so I'm going to influence this guy over here twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do 2 moves. The first move will be a catapult move. So I move out of my spaceport, and then I can end the move. As far as catapult move, you can drop off guys on the way. So I'm just going to send this guy over here. So we took the long way to get to the planet that was adjacent to where we started. All to drop off that guy. I will point out one thing with the catapult move is it says you can move to any gates. I can just move back and forth among the gates as much as I want.
Yep.
As long as I rule those or nobody rules them.
Yep.
So I could really place this guy anywhere along here just to disrupt things. I think here's where I want him, though. Actually, I think for the sake of things, I actually want him over here. We'll go all the way over there. And then this guy's going to move here for my second move.
Okay.
In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I am making it hard for you to catapult move.
Unless I move with at least 2 ships, obviously.
I don't know if that counts. I think you need to rule the system before you move into it for that to work. Let me double check that, though.
Yeah, you might be right, actually.
Because that's the whole... I remember somebody telling me that it's a very good idea to control these gates. which I assume is... Yeah, until they move into any planet or gate that's controlled by someone else. So when they move into it, that's when you check who's controlling it before your guys get there.
Yeah, I forget where it clarified that.
It's in the catapult move section on page 13.
That's where I am, is page 13.
And so it says keep moving the ships as much as you want, dropping them off
until
as you
they
want.
Drop to it, until they move to a gate controlled by anyone else, which...
Or a planet.
What I want, it's like, when does it specify when the control takes effect? I know it said that in the rules, but I don't remember where.
Oh, yeah, to the left of that, it says, when you take a catapult move, check for control before moving in, not after. It's in the black section.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. So that's why I really like controlling the gate so much. I basically blocked off your catapult moves, unless you start controlling those gates later.
Yep.
Which seems like a good position to be in, because it basically means I can move around the system much more freely.
Mm-hmm.
And then my influence guy's there means I'm in position to take a couple of cards. Overall, this was a good turn. Even though I had to spend every single resource I had to accomplish that.
You did. Whereas my part is the sadness of, I built a strategy on taking empath before remembering, oh yes, you aren't allowed to declare the victory condition you want, because that's not how this game works.
Yeah, if you want to declare empath, you need to play a 6.
I had all of the 3s and 4s. That's all of my cards were 3s and 4s.
I had a bunch of 6s earlier. I just didn't want empath declared because, well... Does it benefit me? It benefits you.
Yeah, no, that's... This one, the hand that I had did not match the hand that I had, was the problem.
Yep. So what's your card you're playing? Are you going to copy or are you going to...
I don't have a choice.
Well, you can copy or pivot.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, I only get one move no matter what.
Yeah, it depends on whether you want to influence or you want to battle or secure.
Yep.
And it depends on whether you want to declare captive again, which I think you don't.
And also, to be honest, yeah, the only thing it would be is if I did this, I could influence one. And then it's like, okay, I can spend material resources if I want to turn one of my actions into a battle, but I've only got one action.
Yep.
So the weapons isn't worth... Yeah, I have...
But you can also spend your psionics to get more move or influence,
yeah.
if you wanted to move before your battle.
My last turn is a garbage last turn.
Yep.
Because my cards were not good.
My last round was worse.
My cards... Well, I'm not going to be able to do much this turn. It's like, at most, I do one move.
Last round, I didn't even get a last turn. So I think that's worth that. I garbage last turn.
Yeah. But that's the problem. I don't have anything worth moving. There's nothing worth moving.
You could do a move and then a battle, if you think there's a place where I'm worth battling. Alternatively, just get some guys into the gates to control them for the sake of catapult moving. Yeah, or to block me off.
Yeah, at this point, move, whatever, nobody cares.
So you're just taking a single move action?
Yep, and then you didn't declare an ambition.
I did not.
And I can't because, again, it's the 3 card, which is so boring.
Actually, honestly, I should have declared an ambition, but too late for that.
I don't like that part specifically. The whole you could only declare the ambition on the card, I don't like that part. Because it makes it really hard to do anything.
Yeah, it is hard to get the ambitions declared.
Mm-hmm.
I think what you have to do is you have to look at your hand before you start and decide which ambition you're going to declare and make sure you hold on to that card.
I looked
and then plan your whole chapter.
I looked at my hand, and my hand was 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Okay, I guess I'm killing people today.
And you had initiative at the start, didn't you?
I had initiative, and my cards were 3 aggression and 2 move.
I think 3s, 4s, and 5s are solid if you just want to take actions. They're rough if you want to take a lot of actions or you want to take the initiative.
It was tough to just do anything, really. Like,
I don't know, maybe that's what a bad hand looks like at all middle values.
Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, the biggest problem was I had a bunch of 3s and 4s all together. There was no split, so there was never any choice. It was play the lowest card, because if you're going to beat me, you're going to beat me anyway. But that was the worst part, was all of my 3s and 4s had the same number of actions, so it literally did not matter what card I played.
Well,
at all.
Let's finish this round, and hopefully next round goes better for us.
Yep, at least something happens. Like, basically, this card, it feels really weird to say this, but for a game that's based on cards, this is way more luck-based than most card-based games. And now we do scoring.
The idea is you're supposed to... the idea is you look at your cards and plan your chapter around it.
You definitely,
there is definitely some luck of what you get.
Took a lead here in scoring. Because while I got 5 for meeting the ambition in Warlord, giving me 5 points, you got 3 plus 2 for Warlord, and then you got 4 for Tyrant.
I think you had that backwards.
No,
I had 3
6
for
tyrant.
Warlord, and then 4 plus 2 for Tyrant.
Oh, you don't get any for second place?
Yes, this only applies to first place, not for second.
Okay, so either way you got 9 points.
So I got 6 points here, 3 points here. I should have declared Tycoon and just took second place there, but didn't think about it.
Alright.
And then all the captives get returned, and all of the trophies get returned as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let me order these so that 6 is down the leftmost spot.
Yep, here's your city back.
Here's your guys back. Oops, I think a guy ended up in the wrong bag.
That's fine.
Let me search these just to make sure so the numbers don't throw you off later.
Mm-hmm.
That is all ships. Good. And that is all agents. Good. Okay. That is the end of that chapter. We are on chapter 3.
Yep, and this time...
And I start with initiative. Oh
do.
my hand is, I know what the chapter wants me to do.
Yep.
The chapter has told me you were doing
I'm going to keep my hands, because it's more interesting than my last 2. There's at least choices to make.
Alright.
Your
Yeah,
turn.
I think we're going to start with some aggression here.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, how aggressive do I want to be? I have no resources right now, do I?
No.
That's interesting.
So no, whatever you do, you're probably only doing 2 of it.
So if I want to battle you, the only spot I can battle, because I can't move, is here.
Yep.
And I'm not sure I want to battle you with my lone ship against your 2.
Yep.
Either I'm doing 1 hit to you, which is kind of pointless, or I'm doing a chance of 2 hits to you with the chance of just losing my ship.
I don't think you can lose your ship.
No, I can say I don't lose my ship, I just damage it.
Yep. You have
One
a
die,
possibility of
one.
doing 2
Oh,
damage.
no, if I get an intercept, you're doing 2 hits to me.
If you damage your ships once per... and damage ship, okay.
Yeah, I could take up to 3 hits on the intercept, which...
Well, no,
yeah, that's instant kill.
there's only 2 undamaged ships, so it'd be 2... It doesn't matter. You die
Well, I'd
anyway.
be no, never mind, I'm just reading this. I take 2 hits, you take 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a chance I just lose the ship, and there's also just a high chance my ship gets damaged. That's not worthwhile for battling.
For the possibility of 1 ship.
So I think what the answer here is... Oh, I need to claim this material that goes in the material supply over here. This is something that would be way easier to do in a real-life game than Tabletop Simulator. Yeah, I think I only want to do 2 actions instead of 3. Although I guess aggression also gives me move actions, doesn't it? Do I want to move? Moving is a good thing.
Oh, so Surpass does let you play the pips on your car, so that's really weird.
Yes, Surpass lets you play all the pips. But you're always guaranteed to be equal to or less than whatever the lead was.
Mm-hmm.
So it's to your advantage to do the same actions that the lead did.
Well,
If I
unless
declare
they...
we're all doing aggression, you should also be aggressive.
Well, the catch is you aren't allowed to if they play a card that's too high of number.
That is true. So if I want to prevent you from surpassing, I play a big card in that suit.
Yep. Which for aggression, every single one of them is 2 actions, so it doesn't matter which one you play.
Aggression could have... There's some 3-action ones in lower numbers.
2, maybe 1 might have 3. Because I know 3, 4, 5, and 6 all have 2. But I haven't seen the 2 aggressions, so...
I think I need to play the 4 of aggression. Yes, the 4 of aggression is my play. And with the 4 of aggression, I am going to claim these 2 cards over here. So Mass Uprising, choose a cluster on the map. I place 1 ship in each system of the cluster and discard this card.
Yep.
Let me double check. I think system is not the gate, just for terminology's sake.
Yeah.
I'll double check that term. I think I get 3 ships.
No, yeah, you get 3. Because the gate is not a system.
That sounds right. Okay, so which system do I want? Do I want to bolster what I already control? Do I want to start claiming a new system?
Yeah, because that would let you start doing a lot of building over this one. That one feels like the strongest to me.
I think so, because I also blocked off that gate there, so it's hard for you to reach that system.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to seize this Vox. I place one ship in each system of the cluster. And then these guys... Yeah, I want guys. There we go. I wonder. Let me try something here. Does work. Nice.
Nice.
Alright, what's our new guy?
Lattice spies.
Before any other action, you may discard this to seize the initiative. Interesting.
So the second seize initiative card.
Okay, so I will take this Loyal Engineers then, too, because why not?
Yep. And you just are having all of the I can use any resources, anything cards.
Yep, I could use all the resources as all the things.
The only things you can't use as all the things are fuel and... what's it called? Material?
Yeah, I don't have fuel. I have the
weapons.
material version, I have the relic version, and I have the psionic version. I don't know if there's weapons.
So your best bet at this point is just to only manufacture fuel and weapons primarily, because that lets you still have all the actions, and then you can play them as anything else.
I'm running out of ships here. Where are all my ships? Oh, they're all on the map.
Yes.
I'm not even sure I want to build that much, because I just don't have much to build.
There's
no advantage to building more spaceports.
You can build cities, is what it would be.
Sure, I could build 2 cities just to get them out on the map.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's my turn.
Yep.
Yeah. So you may choose how you want to follow up. Are you going to surpass? You're going to copy? You're going to pivot. Meanwhile, let me read these new cards. Arms Union.
Well, there's a
this
very...
card next to a
oh wait, I
face-up
can't play
aggression.
that card, right, because it won't let me play that card. That would have been the most logical card to play, and I'm not even allowed to play it.
Yeah, I think I know what that probably is.
Yeah.
The card I really need is one I don't have. I wonder if I should just let you take the initiative, just so that I can get the card and copy it.
It's like, okay, which card do I burn? Because I have to play something. I might just do that. Tax or repair or influence. And I'm going to spend 1 psionic to do an aggression. And I'm going to seize this card, Song of Freedom.
Oh, that means you seize the initiative, doesn't it?
You may return any one city you control. Oh, right, I don't control any cities.
Oh, you control your own cities.
Well, yes.
You may return a city of your own in order to seize the initiative with that one.
Yeah, so that's not even worth it. So in that case, I'm going to murder your ship.
Which ship are you murdering?
That ship. The only ship I can murder.
Are you going to murder him aggressively, or are you going to murder him safely?
Both.
You're going to murder him somewhat aggressively.
Worked.
That is in fact a murder.
Alright.
Goodbye, guy.
First trophy.
You will be missed.
And then I have tax or repair or influence. I have nothing to repair. So my choices are tax or influence. Is there anything, well, let's see, taxing, I can tax psychic, or I can tax weapons.
Think. Yeah, so this card right here is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This lets you seize a card that was previously played, which means you'll get to play an extra round, or you could use that to seize the initiative later.
Yeah, when you place this card in phase of aggression when the round ends, Draw the card in your hand, discard that card.
So, for example, suppose you own that card right now. You could play it under my aggression card right here. And at the end of the round, you get to put this in your hand.
Oh, that aggression card.
This one is aggression.
Which
means you get to play an extra round, or you have an extra card to use for seizing.
Yep.
It's an interesting one. It has potential, but it's also using that potential can be tricky.
Yeah.
Like everything.
I'm going to tax and take a psionic.
Alright. Oh, taking the psionic back that you spent, I guess.
Basically. The one that I spent to gain an aggression.
So basically what you did was a more convoluted way of copying.
Mm-hmm. In the end, nothing changed except you lost a ship. And it is your turn.
Alright, let's end the round.
You have initiative. Feel free to use it.
I think it is time for... construction! Woo!
Yay!
Oh no, that means you have the 6, doesn't it?
No, that was a sarcastic yay.
Oh.
I
never know with you.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's called poker face.
Ah, construction. I think I need weapons. And...
You also probably just haven't noticed that I just say yay to a lot of things, whether they're good or not.
I mean, potentially. I don't think
like
I care about that
confused several of my friends when I say yay, and they're like, "Do you hear what I said?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Okay, so the question is, do I want weapons? Weapons might be useful in the future. Weapons, notably, don't have anything that they count as the resource for ambitions.
Yep.
They're just for turning into battle actions, or into other resources.
So they're only really if you want combat.
So I guess my most optimal play here would be I just don't claim this... I already have a relic planet, so I don't claim another relic planet.
Yeah.
However, I'll just think my strategy out loud. You have no incentive to remove me on a relic planet, because you're just outraged there. And you
there is
don't
incentive if I want warlord points.
Cards.
The advantage of removing it is I can't outrage them further, so I can just remove you.
Yeah, so I guess I probably want to spread out more resources over. So we'll do that and that for my 2 build actions. And I have no resources to spend. Okay. It is your turn.
Alright. I have the 6 of admin.
Of course you do.
And I'm going to use Galactic Bards to declare empath.
Of course you do.
And then for my construction action, I can build or repair. I have nothing to repair, so I choose to build. And then all I can do is turn it into attack, but I can't move, so that doesn't matter. So the only thing I can build is more spaceships. And I take the initiative. And good.
That really messes with my plans.
That's fair. I've been
Should have done things in the other order, but
I've been there before.
You having initiative has some impacts. Although there's still hope for my plans.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Alright, I'm going to do a... I want to do... None of these are really what I want to do is the problem.
I know, you should see my hand.
I'm gonna do this just for lulz.
Would you like to declare that ambition?
The 2?
Yeah.
No.
It is Tycoon.
That benefits you, not me.
Well, yeah. You want to declare it to benefit me?
No.
Oh. Sadness.
I'm just moving them all over here for now, and then I'm gonna look at the cards later. So this isn't confirmed yet. I want to look. Although I might have an idea as well.
Armed Union is one
I know
with a
what
lot
I'm
of...
going to do. I am going to also spend a weapon. Because I keep forgetting that's how that works.
Yeah, you can spend a weapon which lets you move instead of one of...
So,
or actually, you can battle
influence-
before time there.
I'm gonna put 2 on Arms Union. I'm gonna put 2 on Lattice Spies.
What's lattice spies again?
Before any other actions, you may discard this to seize the initiative.
No, the direct initiative seize.
Yep, just a straight up. And then I'm going to do a move. And I'm going to do a slingshot. Boop.
That's where you get up to with your slingshot?
No, actually, I'm just going to go right here.
Oh, so you just did a slingshot move to your neighbor.
Yep. Boom.
I will point out, your slingshot move is not allowed to pick up ships as it goes along.
Yep,
Only drop.
because that's not how a slingshot works.
Yep.
And then I'm going to do... let's see, because fuel's the one that I pissed off, right?
Yep, you have already made fuel upset.
So
although I will point out, in terms of outrage, you don't get any extra advantage from removing the city except the trophy.
Exactly. So this is the
I'll just,
safest
like,
one to
if I had
attack.
if I had a guy here, then you could have actually used that to ransack the court. But I gotta have anything.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Reset. I have 2 ships. I'm going to assault. For lulz.
You're gonna take out stuff.
Nice.
So I deal 1 hit back, even though you have 2 targets.
Yep.
So damage either ship, I guess.
Yep. And then I do 2
And-
of choice.
Yep. And your 2 must be ships first.
Yep, ships then buildings. So
Basically, the only option is to remove one of my ships.
I'm just going to do this because it saves having to flip. And now I control this sector by 1 ship. And
Mean you are allowed to tax this.
yep, and it is my turn. Your turn.
You played the exact card I wanted, actually.
Yep, that's fair.
Because I can now take mobilization back, and I can move and influence. And I do... Do I want to move or do I want to influence is the question.
And you could go for 2 on the arms union if you need, so you get something.
That's true. The question is, do I want arms union? That could be useful in a later chapter.
And you have
I could also go for 2 on another one to stop you from claiming it.
also true. Because it's usually... whereas you have all of the play as another thing, I don't. So I'm reliant on a pivot of some kind if I want to both influence and secure on the same turn.
Yep. Based on how my next turn is looking...
Because you'll go next unless I can somehow seize initiative, which I don't think I can at the moment.
Well, you can always seize initiative by spending a card.
Well, yes. But that won't be until after your turn, I mean.
Yep, that is true.
So you're able to both do a move, and then you have another turn right afterwards.
I really wish I had resources, but they're all gone.
You spent them for a better position on the map.
I did. And it is a good position on the map. It's just, I really could use a resource, but my hand is garbage.
Yep.
So, there's no point in me influencing twice for this one card based on how things are going to go next turn. And there's no point in me throwing a guy in your card, because I'll just probably lose him next round. So, yeah. I guess I influence once on Arms Union, or influence twice on Lattice Spies. Those are my only 2 reasonable options here. And then I move somewhere. Moving, what's going on the board? This is a city, so that's a pain to move from. I could really use a spaceport. Yeah, I'm in an awkward position here. All my spaceports are blocked off by you controlling this one gate.
Yep.
You were really blocking off my catapult moves.
Yep. I mean, you have this spaceport.
Yeah, this is my one spaceport that can still go places.
But it also has
I have
only
to leave
one.
all my ships.
It has
to that.
1 ship.
Although what I could always do is I could get a second ship in here with 1 move action, and then just launch them all off.
Yep. But still, can't move far, obviously.
Okay, let's think about my next turn. We're going to do that, and we're going to do... Psionic. Psionic. Interesting. For the sake of next turn, I think I want all of these guys. I don't like these numbers at all. I think putting 2 guys there is my best bet. Now I'm having, in retrospect, I wish I had built a spaceport in one of these, because that might have helped me a little bit more. As opposed to these guys, there's no way they're getting where I want them. Although, yeah, I want that in that position. So I think what I want to do is go over there. Yeah. Take 1 move. And I take a single guy, put him over here. That's my turn. Okay. So that's the end of the round. I don't think there's anything else that needs to happen here. I take initiative. The round ends. And then at the start of the second round, hope your fuel needs to go, or your weapon needs to go away. I'm going to lead with a 5. And with that 5, let me double check some numbers. It's a gamble. Yes, I will do that. With that 5, I am going to declare... Actually, I'm not sure. I don't think I want to declare ambition. Yeah, I don't. And then I get to take 2 move or battle or secure actions. I will secure this card because why not? And my agent comes back. And a new card appears. And we've got, when secured, draw 1 action card from the bottom of the action discard pile. Spicy. And then for my other action, alright, I see what I did. Yeah, that's fine. We are going to... See, my army's over here, but that's not where my army needs to be. I move my whole army or just half my army? I'll just move most of my army out here. Yeah, this line right here is in my way. Everything's in my way.
Yeah.
Alright, it's your turn.
Alright. Mobilization 5.
So you are pivoting.
Yep.
And I assume no resources?
What?
You're not spending any resources?
I am spending a resource.
Oh, you are?
Yep. On that, on there, whatever. So that
I will point out, this will let you battle and then move, but you won't be able to move then battle.
Oh, yeah. That's not the point here. The point is to seize and take lattice space.
Yeah, this makes sense. You got your spies.
Lattice spies, whatever. Lattice spies. Which I believe gives me points towards psychic. Does that count towards a psychic empath victory?
I believe it does. Yes.
Okay. Making sure I understand this.
Although you've got so many in that category right now. Oh, I guess you want to spend all your psychic, don't you?
It depends on the circumstances. I do have more than you, but that could change depending on whatever kind of build you have left.
I've got the 1 psychic. You currently got 2 psychic.
Yep. So at the moment I have first, but you do have second still, and that's not helpful.
This Court Enforcer is interesting. Gives you the abduct action. Capture all rival agents from a card in the court that has fewer rival agents than your total weapon icons and resources. from resources and cards. That is an interesting card.
So it requires you to have weapons.
If you have weapons, you can remove rival agents from cards, which both makes them easier to secure and gives you captives.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very useful card.
You have call to action. Draw one action card from the bottom of the action discard pile. Discard call to action. Why is it that the Vox cards are so inconsistent in power levels?
What makes you say they're inconsistent here? Are you saying this one's weak or strong?
Compared to others, that is, like, if there's get free ships or there's discard a city to get an initiative, which is situationally useful, and then, like, you can draw a card. Yeah, you draw one action card from the bottom of the action discard pile. So if you remember what the action discard pile is, and it happens to be a good card.
Oh no. There are 12 action cards that were unused entirely. So you get a card that neither of us have seen, and basically means you can take an extra round.
I thought this said action discard pile.
Well, yes. The bottom of the action discard pile includes all the actions which were
Oh, that's a different thing. Okay, so it's an extra action. That's comparatively more useful.
The action. I also got a card which lets me get an extra action if I use this to claim an aggression card.
Anyway, move would be move or influence. And I'm going to move... boom. Wait, there's no spaceport.
Where'd you move from?
There's no spaceport there.
Yeah,
there's two cities. Alright, and that is my turn.
And I keep initiative.
You do.
Okay. This is where things get interesting.
Indeed.
You guess what I'm gonna play here? The 6 of aggression.
Goodness sake.
My entire hand was aggression.
That is really obnoxious for my hand. Because you always have to play a card.
Yep.
Which means
you have 2 cards left, right?
I do, but one of them I can't play, and the other one I wanted to play on my turn, which means...
you can play it face down to copy if you want.
Right. I forgot that was a thing.
You can always play it face down to copy.
Completely yeah, never mind. That works. Because I was thinking, there's no way that could... until I remembered copy, I was thinking, you could end up in a situation where you only have lower numbers and therefore can't play a card, but yeah, copy, that works.
And what did I accomplish with this action? Ah, yes, that's what I accomplished here. Well, here's what we're gonna do. My 2 bros are gonna catapult move to see your bros. Hello.
Hey, hello.
And we are going to raid you.
Yep, that's fair. Good
luck. So in my second action, we're going to battle, and we're hoping for something good. There's a lot of good things that can happen here. We got something good. So I take 2 hits. So I will just... do I give you a captive, or do I damage both of my ships? I think damaging both my ships is the better move. It means you can pick them off more easily, though. I mean, either way, it's 2 hits to remove whatever I leave there.
Yeah. I'm assuming you're not declaring an ambition because you can't.
I could declare an ambition if I wanted. I just don't want an ambition.
Well, that's empath and it's already declared.
I can declare it again.
You can?
Yes, you can.
Interesting.
Which just means that ambition gets scored twice.
Yep. Okay.
Or 3 times.
Yeah. But that's why it let me place it.
I ignore psionic outrage. I'm going to outrage psionic here by removing your city. So I deal both hits to that one city. I take it as a trophy. So as a result of taking it as a trophy, I am now outraged on psionic. However, my 1 psionic card says you ignore outrage when spending psionic for its prelude action, and if you provoke outrage, keep this card. Doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
And then the big brain move here. This card right here is mine. Song of Freedom. When secured, you may return any one city you control to its player board.
Oh, I thought it had to be one that you had more pieces on.
I know when you ransack, you're just claiming a card someone else has. Although this says I
Ah.
can't seize the initiative, it's already seized. So I can't seize the initiative. I'm
Yep.
just using this to remove your city.
Yeah.
Or actually, to be exact, I'm using it to take captives.
Yep.
You guys are mine now.
Yep.
So I play this card, and also your city. I might as well remove it. Here's your city back.
I've been sitting on that one for a while as a backup plan, and then it just isn't useful.
Alright, what happened now? Spacing Union. You may place this card next to a
It's the
face
same
up
thing
moment.
as the other one, but for mobility.
Yeah, okay. So I think that's my turn.
Yep.
Yep. And it is your turn.
Copy.
Yeah, I guess there's no point for you to seize the initiative here, because you just wouldn't get to take a turn.
Yes, there is. A lot of spies.
Oh, you have Lattice Spies to seize the initiative.
Yes. Which is quite important.
That messes with my turn.
It does.
I was counting on having the initiative for my last turn.
Yep. Deal.
I can work around it.
Alright, I have one aggressive move. I'm going to attack your fuel depot.
Alright, you get 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no refresh ships there.
Nope.
So there is no risk of this target symbol.
Exactly. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3. Nice. Okay, so I ignore these two. I take 1 hit to whatever I feel like. And then I take 4 keys.
Did you roll the dice, or do you just spawn them in? Just making sure.
I rolled them.
Okay, good.
Because it couldn't have spawned that in.
I don't remember what that one spawns. I just want to make sure, because this is the side that spawns. I was like, that is a very bad thing for me right now.
Yeah, true. But yeah, they would spawn in evenly, and with this would be on the 0, because it starts on the 0. But yeah, you're right, that is a very bad thing for you.
That really messes with some plans.
Because you have too many cards that need to go away. But yeah,
Well, you can either claim one of my cards, or you can claim my 2 cards that have 2 on them.
attacking your cities doesn't really do anything, right?
So if you remove the city, I think you get to ransack the court again, which in this case does nothing.
Well, in this case, the problem is that I only have 1 damage deal, so it's probably just better to take the ship captive, I think.
Oh, no, you got regular damage, so you have to attack the ship.
Yeah, exactly.
You have no choice. So you take 1 hit, you did.
Mm-hmm.
You deal 1 hit, you did, and then you get 4 keys for stealing from me.
And it's like, okay, what do I want?
So, your options. You can steal this and this together,
Mm-hmm.
or just either one of them, or you can steal any of these by themselves.
Yep.
I will point out...
You have no resources.
Yeah, in terms of ambitions, you declared empath, so that's the one thing keeping me in the empath game.
Exactly, yeah.
I think we're actually tied for empath right now, aren't we? Did you just spend your empath to make this round happen?
I did not. Oh, no, yeah, right, because I have 1.
You spent your empath
Yes,
this
so
time.
it would depend on...
So currently we're tied for empath. Neither of us have it. But if you take that, you'll have the lead for empath, and I won't be able to use that empath action anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Actually, I'll be entirely locked off psionics then, wouldn't I?
Yes, you would be, because you hostile them. Actually, yeah, given that you outrage them, yeah, that's the correct answer. It's unfortunate that I waste a key as a result, but it can't be helped.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, the alternative to this dice, all the alternatives would have I guess you could have done a building hit to me, or you would have taken a hit.
Yep.
So this is probably the best side to have rolled for
in
you
this
got.
specific case, yes. Alright, and that is my turn, and I also take I seize the initiative.
Using that card you discarded.
Yep.
This is where things get interesting now.
Alright, and now I play my final card. Construction 2.
Are you going to declare the tycoon thing?
No. That would be stupid.
Alrighty.
You can
Your loss.
You can declare it if you want. My loss, your loss.
Okay, it's my loss.
It is absolutely your loss. Because
Alright,
you
so
actually get points and I don't.
4 construction
I
actions.
do.
Oof.
And I'm gonna build a city here. And then a company.
You know how much effort I went through to remove those cities?
Yep, and I'm gonna build a city here.
Both cities? No
Yep.
starport?
Yeah, because I can also just build spaceships wherever I want to, or I can repair, which I'm going to build more spaceships at my starport. Because I feel like having 2 brand new spaceships is more useful than repairing 2 spaceships. Because either way, I have 2 repaired spaceships, but I also have 2 damaged spaceships. Sure, they have some negatives, but it's still more guns on the table. And that is my turn. I will not spend my psychic because I am using it.
Yeah, I would love to build right now. However, I have reasons I need to do this.
Yep.
I am going to use Arms Union. You may place this next to a face-up aggression card. When the round ends, draw that card into your hand and discard this card.
Yep.
So I'm going to use this to get my aggression card back, and thus take the initiative next round.
Yep.
This is my big brain play.
Yep. You gotta hope for...
I was supposed to lead this round on that, too.
Mm-hmm.
You seizing the initiative was very annoying.
You get... Yeah, because that's the 3 aggression card.
But yes, I had 4 aggression cards.
Yeah, I figured.
It was...
the way we were talking.
The game wanted me to be aggressive.
And because I only had the 3, I never had a chance to take it.
Yep. I specifically avoided playing the 2 because I didn't want to risk you taking it with the 3.
Mm-hmm. The 3 are...
So my goal was to draw out your 3 card with those higher numbers. Okay, so I need to decide now. I get a single aggression action. I may move, or I may battle. I can't secure.
Yeah.
There's no place I really want to... Actually, I think there's no place I can battle. Oh, I guess I could battle over here.
You could. You can tack up to 2 ships, and you could try to raid me.
I could raid again, or I could... The assault's probably not going to be useful. Both assault and raid is a big risk there.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my raid, if I lose both those ships, I take 2 hits, I just don't get the benefits of raid.
And you would need to roll both of the keys, which would...
And there's no benefit to ransacking the court right now. I would just get a captive for that.
Yeah.
However, I would potentially get some captive ships if I just do some skirmishes.
You could get a ship, possibly, if you rolled 2 on skirmish.
I think instead I should position myself for my next turn.
Yeah. That makes
Which
the most
is...
sense.
I'm going to get 3 actions. What do I want
Effectively,
to
you have 4 actions, so you just think of it in those terms.
Yeah, 4 actions. So where do I move my ships to get everybody in position? I wish I had 3 ships right here instead of 2. I regret my previous choices.
Yep. And right now, the only spaceport you control is this one, so that's the only slingshot you can do.
Yep, and I can't slingshot because your guys... That's why if I had 3 guys here, I could move these here, and I could actually slingshot from it.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't, so... life sucks.
Effectively, you're going to need at least 2 moves to get into position, so you can do at most 2 attacks.
Yep. Which I think is what I'm going to want to do. We're going to battle there and there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a spaceport, so that's a pretty safe battle.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to move... I guess I'll leave myself fully exposed here. That seems too risky.
Mm-hmm. Because that's the worst part about attacking, is either you're doing a light attack that won't do much damage...
Well, I guess, okay, I'm fully exposed whether I attack you here, or whether I leave my guys here. So it's fully exposed either way.
Mm-hmm.
I guess these guys move here, and that's the end of this round.
Yep. Resolved guild card.
Oh, the script actually tells us to do that?
Yep.
This is mine now.
And this is discarded.
Okay. And then, you cannot use your initiative because you have no cards.
Yep,
so I take the initiative. And this is very important for lots of reasons here.
First off, you can actually declare ambition.
I declare that ambition, which I needed for the Tycoon.
If you want actually any points this turn.
I have a 5 in that Tycoon. I mean, I also have points for Empath. Oh, I don't.
Nope. You have 0 for Empath.
Let me fix that. I get 3 actions for my assault. 1. I mean, I guess I don't have to take my second move until I can do my battle first. Let me do a battle.
Yep.
I'm going to battle in this location.
Cool. Which
and I'm going to roll entirely raid dice.
That's fair. It's a 2 raid.
This is probably a terrible idea, but...
Yep. It's a gamble.
Terrible ideas is how we do things.
You could get lucky.
I could get very lucky and get my card back.
You could. No.
Or I could get that.
2 building damage, so you destroy my starport.
There's no consequence for me destroying the starport, except I can no longer raid you.
Yep.
Which is the annoying thing about that move.
I take, let's see.
And then I take 1 ship damage.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you can steal 1 key worth of resources, which I've just realized is the psychic.
Oh yeah, your resources are positioned not great.
Because I never repositioned it because I forgot that was a thing I could do.
That is a lesson.
That is frustrating.
All right, and that is my first one. So now I get to do a second battle.
Because
second
now,
battle.
we tie an empath as a result.
And that leaves me in a pretty good position. I'm just going to leave these guys. They're going to move over here, and we're going to battle you.
Wait, that was.
So I did 1 move from here to here.
Yep.
Oh, and then I did a paddle, and I need like 1 more action.
Yeah, you would need 1 more action to move. So.
I'm 1 short for my count. Okay. I guess my other option is I can battle here, which doesn't seem worth it.
No.
Or I can retreat. I think retreating is my plan then. We're just going to retreat here.
Okay.
No more battling. And I think that's the end of what I can do.
No, I realized what it should have actually been is I spent the wrong resource. I couldn't have reinforced them. I should have spent the 1 and not the 3.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had 1 and 3.
I think, actually, let me double check. When you're spending resources, whether you can rearrange them or not. I want to double check that rule.
It might. Oh, that's the thing, is it may
I think you're allowed to. I think the only case you're not allowed to rearrange them is if it's just like in the middle of a turn when someone's about to attack you, you can't rearrange
Because what it really is I had a psychic in the 3 and the 1, and I should have spent the 1 in the 1, and I spent the 1 in the 3.
Yeah, so whenever you take or are given a resource, place an empty resource slot. To do so, you may rearrange any resources and discard those you cannot hold.
Yep.
It does not specify you can rearrange when you spend a resource. So I think it would have just been you had to spend the 1 in that slot instead.
Yeah, I completely forgot to just spend the better 1. One of those things you don't think of if you haven't played the game before.
Yep. Man, it's just learning.
Because it's not something that matters in any other game.
Yes. It's a very interesting mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is the end of my turn. Initiative declared.
That's
I will
over.
end the round. And I'm out of cards, so that is the end of the chapter.
Yep.
Empath, I think you still have Empath. I did not manage to take that from you. Actually, wait. I've got 1 in Empath.
We're tied now. That's why I was frustrated.
We're tied.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So we both get 3 points.
Yep.
Now, my building bonuses, they do not count because I'm second place.
Do you see why I was so frustrated by that?
Yes, I do.
Because that absolutely ruined everything. It was supposed to be I get 8 points and you get 0, and instead we both get 3, and that is a big difference.
And then that Tycoon, I have a 5 in Tycoon to the board's 4. And I don't think you have anything in Tycoon.
Wait, did you already move? Yeah, you already did, so.
Yeah, I've already moved your 3.
Yeah,
so my Tycoon is worth 10 points.
I am losing very badly as a result of that 1 change.
Yeah, that play was a huge change.
All because of I didn't. It's like I said before, this game just has, compared to Root, this has so much more to keep track of.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategic complexity to this.
I wouldn't even call this strategic complexity. I would just call this complexity. Because it's not so much strategic. Okay. There's an optimal play here. Play the 1, not the 3. That's not strategy. There is very clearly an optimal move, so it's more about remembering to make the correct move.
Yeah, in that case it was. A lot of the strategic complexity comes down to how do you set up a combo so you can actually get things done.
Yep, is to be able to take more than 1 turn at once. Especially with 2 players, half the time you're going to be alternating, but then half the time it's you take the turn and you get 2 turns in a row, and how do you take advantage of 2 turns in a row?
Yes.
You have the... Fucking hell!
If you don't like your hand, you can discard it.
I can discard it, I know, because it's like, oh, good. Half my deck is movement again. Fuck this deck.
Yeah, the game has told me what I'm doing again. Don't worry, we're not battling everything. We're doing something different this time.
Okay, how do I discard everything and restart?
Just pile it up somewhere, I think face down. So I don't see that. So just shake your hand, and that should pile them all up. And then flip it face down, and then draw a new 6 cards from here. Just press the number 6 on top.
So I'll definitely be getting... Are you kidding me?
Is it not better?
It's almost identical. The only reason it's not 3 movement cards is because there's only 5 movement cards. So put these in the discard now?
Yeah, I think they go... Let me double check whether it's top or bottom, because that matters for one of our guild cards.
Yep.
Let's see. Start of round is where we want to be. Ending chapter? That's probably it. Okay, after drawing... Without initiative, you may discard your hand of 6 to draw a new hand. They must accept the new hand. I don't know if it goes on the top or the bottom. I'd say put it on the top. That probably makes more sense.
Oh, I already put it on the bottom.
When we draw from the bottom, we'll draw from the unseen 2
I already put it on the bottom, is what happened. There were only 2
really
left,
know.
so it won't really matter.
I'll ask on the Discord afterwards in the rule clarifications.
How about this?
For now, we're just
shuffle
playing
it.
how you did it.
There, it's shuffled.
Sure, that doesn't matter. Okay. What is going on in my life here? I have a single psionic resource. That is useless to me. Well, I guess I can spend it as something else. And I have a completely nonsensical hand. And you have all my ships as trophies that are not on the board.
Yeah, because no, Warlord wasn't declared, so you can't...
Oh, that reminds me. End of round, I need to flip this guy.
And that
9 points is now the scoring for something
because
happening.
they want the game to end.
And we're in chapter 4 now, aren't we?
Yes.
So up to 2 more chapters will happen, or if I reach 33 points, or you reach 33 points, the game will also end.
I don't know if it's possible for me to reach 33 points this chapter. It definitely is.
You could. So 9, 6, and 4. This is 19 points right here.
Yep.
Plus the bonus from your city could be another 6 on there.
Yes.
8. Plus another 3 from your other city.
Yeah, let's see. If I won every single category with the +2, that would be 21, 23, 25, which would barely be enough. So I would need to win all 3 categories with the 2.
Get your second city out.
That would be the 5, which means I would need to win at least 2 categories. So it is not possible for me to win on Chapter 4.
Unlikely. Well,
not
I have
possible.
a little bit of an easier time.
You need to get 11 points before I can get all of the points. You could do it. You could win just by winning the 6, because that's 11.
Yeah, so let's see what we need to do here.
So you just need to win first place on the first or the second item to win this game. By doing that, I cannot win. So you don't need to... You could
you can't win this round at least.
You could over-specialize. Honestly, your best strat is probably to play a 2 and declare a Tycoon immediately.
Well, the problem with that is I lose initiative. It's my risk. So probably want to declare a Tycoon eventually, but maybe not immediately.
Well, you run the risk of me declaring something immediately, so it's not the 9. I cannot contest you in Tycoon. Even if you lose
well, you could. There's a very easy way for you to contest me.
How?
Raid.
Yeah.
And given what my hand looks like, that is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
That you have the ability to raid me a lot. I want to double check one rule here, but I forgot what rule I'm double checking. I guess if I can't remember, I'll just ignore it for now. Okay, I wanted to do that. Oh, that's why I was double checking. It was related to building.
Oh yeah, you still have my people, that's why. Okay.
Yep. I have 2 of your people, you have 3 of my ships.
Yep. And then you have 2 of my buildings.
Let's see. Here we are. Nope. Okay, that's the wrong spot. So no one controls the system, which I think means...
Yeah, but the one advantage I have is because of how few cards there are, I know almost exactly what's in your hand within a margin of 2 cards, because I know what I had before and what I have now, so I know what's left.
So you probably know what's going on in my hand.
Construction.
Yes.
You have at least 3, possibly 4 construction cards.
We are constructing this turn. Mm-hmm. We are constructing this whole chapter.
Which is a problem because you don't have much left to construct.
Yes, it is terrible.
Because
My
you have...
best bet might be giving you initiative at some point, just so I can copy you.
Mm-hmm.
However, for now, I'm basically checking. When I construct, I want to double-check the damaging rules for constructing. Here we are.
I also know for a fact you have no move cards.
So here's the thing I was verifying. If I construct in a system, like, say, this one, we are currently tied for controlling of the system, and because we're tied, no one controls it.
Yep.
Thus, if I build a ship here, my ship comes in fresh.
Yep.
So, now I know that. I think I want to start off with some lovely... You know, my life would be a lot better if I do some administration. But I don't want to do that. So I'm going to start off life with a 6 of administration.
Fair.
And using my 6 of administration, we are going to tax, so I finally have resources again.
Yay!
What kind of resources? Because I lost psionic right here, that really messes with my ability to do everything.
Yeah, because it means that the only resources you can really take is... You don't control this, so you can't take the fuel.
No, you can. You don't have to control it in order to tax it.
Well, I thought you had to... Oh, right, because it's yours, Don. I'm thinking it was
I have
mine.
to control it to
For some
tax
reason, I thought it
yours.
was mine.
So if I control a city,
Yeah,
that'll be yours.
you can go
Both me and you
here,
can tax
here,
that city.
here. So you can make anything except psychic.
So, yeah, the specific wording is choose a loyal city or
yeah,
a
you
rival
have that
city
too.
you control.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
A
All
city-
5 of yours are on the board.
Yeah, all 5 of my... I have all 5 resources to choose from.
You're just
The
choosing
ones
which
that are
two.
less useful to me are material and relics, it looks like.
Yep.
I guess I want a fuel. And I want... What else do I want? Do I want a weapon? Yes, I want a weapon. I definitely want a weapon. And then I will swap the resources around so that is my life. I have resources again.
Yay!
You have the ability to get... No... Oh no, you lost that card because of outrage. I remember you had a card that gave you a ton of fuel if you wanted it,
Yep.
which would have been a great card to use at this moment.
Alright. Do you choose to declare an ambition?
I will not.
Okay.
Because I do not want you just getting a 0 here to build.
I will do it instead then. Told you should have.
Oh, right, you have that card that lets you declare an ambition.
Told you should have. Empath.
Well, I mean, no. If I declare an ambition here, it wouldn't have helped me at all.
If you'd done Tycoon, it would have.
Oh, you mean declaring a different ambition?
Yes.
Because now you're putting empath there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's annoying, but I have reasons for not declaring it right now.
Yep. And
It's
then
just
I
too much
have
effort.
1 mobilization or the like. But
Honestly, I
I'm going
could
to
still
do
steal
a
empath from
fun
you.
little game. I'm going to play my weapon. I'm going to play it as psychic, and I'm going to spend it to tax and gain a psychic. Just going in the
You wanted a real psychic instead of your weapon psychic.
Yep, because at
Because
the end
that
of
helps you towards...
it helps me towards the goal I just created of Empath. And
I
then
think at this point, what's going to happen at the end of this round is either I will probably win the game, or you will manage to successfully catch up.
yep, those are the only 2 options
either
available.
case, then we'll end up in Chapter 5, and Chapter 5, if we end up in Chapter 5, that'll be the battle to the finish.
Yep.
But I think we're definitely, you playing this immediately, it means we're definitely going to score now. There's just a question whether I can get loyal empaths back, which, well, unlikely.
We'll see. Oh yeah, I should actually do my mover influence too, right. Is there anything I want to move? Because this is I did not build a starport there because the cities were kind of the priority. This is empty now, so honestly, I'm gonna move. Do I want to move here? I'm gonna move here.
You're just piling more guys on my city. That's quite rude of you.
Yep, don't care.
My city, not your city.
Tough. And that is my turn. Excuse me. You maintain the initiative.
Let's check. I think I want that, which requires me to play... I don't want to play a 3. What's my other option? think I have to play a 3 if I want to get life to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
That is the move. Although 3 also puts me in that state, which is gross.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get rid of you. You are very much not where I want you to be.
Yep.
Why are all your ships here?
You gonna declare Tyrant Ambition?
I think declaring a Tyrant Ambition is the best move here.
Yeah.
I could definitely declare a Tycoon, but Tycoon is very risky because you could just raid me. As opposed to Tyrant, like, yes, you could get more captives, but that's a little bit trickier to obtain.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to tax me twice for that to happen, which is possible. However, it's more action required. Yeah. As opposed to just a single raid action is enough for you to take away the Tycoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
that is one thing with doubling up on ambition.
As long as you don't commit anybody to here at this point, then the only way I'm getting captives is by
taxing. Yes. So basically, what that means is I need to get all my ships back to good places, which means I need to do some building. Funny how that works out.
Weird question. Let's see, because with Outrage, resources cannot be spent for their prelude action. Yep. But if I take fuel, can I spend it as Psychic?
You can. Because you're not spending it for its prelude action, you're spending it for its Psychic's prelude action.
That works.
Which I think, I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be allowed.
Yep, and it makes what I'm about to do be that much more beneficial.
Do I do this or this? I think I need to play the 3 of construction, unfortunately. And I'm going to declare an ambition.
That's fair.
Which puts it on Tyrant. And with that declared, I then get 3 build or move actions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build... do I want a spaceport or do I want a ship? Actually, I think I want a ship.
If you have 3, here. You have all 3 while you're repairing. That's fair.
And I'm repairing these 2 ships. Because I in this case, I could get new ships, but I only get 1 new ship. And so if I lose these ships, I'm not getting them back until the end of the round.
Yep.
So I'm in a very bad position if I lose all those ships that are there.
Indeed.
So I might as well repair them.
Is that your turn?
That is all my actions. Actually, wait. Before I forgot, I have resources again.
Yes.
I can do things.
Yes. Some things. Weapon, obviously, you don't really want to
Psionic is just I can spend it as something else.
Mm-hmm.
Fuel would let me move. Moving is good. Psionic would let me build. I could take another build action.
Mm-hmm. If you
There's
really
nothing
wanted,
for me to seize.
If you wanted to build, it would literally be putting a starport here, which...
Oh yeah, so I think I'm going to spend my fuel. And just in terms of the order things happened, these 2 damaged ships are going to move away. They are leaving your controlled system. And... Do we go to the planet or do we go to the gate? Let's go to the gate. That seems like the better spot.
They don't control it either way, so now they control it, obviously.
Yeah, now they control it.
Yep.
Because I definitely was repairing that, but just wanted to make sure you got the order correct.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, my turn?
Yep.
4 of construction. I unfortunately cannot use my ability, so because of the play of yours, but that's fine. The important thing is it's the same, so I will be seizing.
What was your ability?
To declare another ambition. Because Warlord would be nice for what I'm doing, but it's fine.
Why can't you declare it?
Because you already did. I cannot declare an ambition if an ambition has already been declared
if an ambition has not yet been declared this round. I see.
Yep. So even though I surpassed, I can't declare it.
That's
but
fair.
I still get 3 constructions of my own to build or repair. And in this case... I left the system. Right, I forgot about that part. I was going to build a city there. Nope, never mind, can't do that.
You forgot to not leave that.
I forgot to not leave it. Dang it. Which means literally all I can do is build 2 ships, and then repair 1, which isn't the worst thing. But definitely the priority is to build. And since I only have 1 starport left, they're going there.
Remember, you can only build 1 ship per starport.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of like how you can only tax once per city.
Got it. That's fair. So I'm only building 1 starship.
And you have some stuff to repair, though, if you want.
Oh yeah, I'm doing that. It's just... Yep. Yeah, might as well. There's 5. And that's it. Because I have no desire to spend anything. Alright, so that's it for the construction. And that's it for the round, and I have taken the initiative.
Very annoying. But, I mean, I expected that. I knew
Yeah,
you probably had the other one in that suit.
Yeah, it was inevitable at some point.
I needed to declare that tyrant more than I needed to keep the initiative from you.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean things are going to suck for future rounds, but, well, whatever you do here will influence a lot of what happens in this game.
Alright.
This is a very important turn.
I'm going to do administration, and I'm going to declare ambition.
Yeah, I figured you would.
So that we can do a warlordy thingy going on. And then I'm going to tax. And I'm going to tax in the fuel section. So I take a fuel. And I'm going to tax a psychic. So I take a psychic. Actually, I'm going to put the fuel here. The fuel's not important. You can have it if you want it. And I'm going to tax a psychic.
You
So,
declaring the warlord was very annoying there, but I kind of knew you would.
yeah.
Luckily, though, it has an advantage. You done with your turn?
Let me double check. Am I done with my turn? Because what I could also do, theoretically, is spend that fuel as a psychic.
But you can't spend the fuel you just got.
No, but I can spend my psychic.
You can spend your old psychic.
Which would let me do, if I wanted to, an influence. Alternatively, is there anything else worth taxing?
I mean, could you also influence by just taxing less?
I could get a weapons, but I'm not as worried about that. Yeah, exactly. I could do an influence.
Which an influence could get you... Getting an extra action is always useful. Or court enforcers is super useful.
The catch is the risk if you decide to attack and gamble that you don't need a resource anymore.
Yeah, if you put a guy there, I could just attack you
exactly.
and try to
and get, because you definitely want that. So, speaking of which, because I taxed fuel, I take your guy.
Oh, you taxed fuel from my city. That is quite rude.
Yes, that's why I asked about that. It's like, is that useful?
Yes, I know. Yes, this pile of ships here is very annoying to me.
now that there's 5 upright, that's a lot of hurt. You need to break through this, because otherwise I'm going to just keep taxing you. I can't again this turn, or I would, but you know. Alright, your turn. Do you have any administration to use?
I do. I have the 2 of administration.
Hell yeah.
I get 4 actions.
Nice.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting turn. And I have 2 resources I can spend to make this a really spicy turn.
If you want to get even more. Yeah, I convert them into different resources via taxing.
No. I have a weapon.
Oh, that too.
I could battle you if I wanted as part of those actions.
Yep.
Okay, I need to figure out what I'm doing here. So
Yeah,
I could just claim 4 resources, call it a turn. But I think it's very important for me to deal with this blockade you put on me.
But you only get 1 battle to do that, so...
I can get as many battles as I want. The trick is I need to get some ships over there as well, which I don't get moved through administration.
Oh, this turn your action card lets you battle, so it's... Oh, I thought it converted 1 of them. It converts all of them?
It converts any number of pips into a battle.
Never
the hard part,
mind.
though, is I don't get moved, do I?
Nope.
That is gross.
And so you're literally limited to this, and you can't build either because you're out of ships to build.
So I have to send my 2 guys to attack your ships. And I have to hope my 2 guys... Let me double check the... Yeah, only my ships are able to get damage and counterattack, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible for counterattack to remove my buildings.
No.
I'll double check the rules on that as opposed to this reference.
Yeah.
So that's a very important... Yeah, so I hit any attacking ship with a flame, and the intercept will hit my attacking ships. There is no thing I can roll that will cause you to hit my attacking buildings. The buildings just aren't involved.
The defender doesn't usually, which I'm guessing cards change that.
Which is a very annoying thing for life right here, because you can just tax me again to start taking Warlord, or taking Tyrant from me. I need to get rid of you.
Yeah, hit any of their defending ships. Once defending ships remain, hit defending buildings instead. Hit any of their defending buildings once per building defense. Raid.
Yeah,
so yeah, it doesn't say anything about attacking buildings, so buildings don't attack. Which is fine, because then I can keep taxing you. And since you control, but you have no ships, your starport's worthless.
Yeah, I think what I have to do is spend both of my resources here.
Yep.
Okay. I'm spending the psionic. I'm spending it as material. Can I do that? Yes, I can spend it as material to repair my ship.
Valid.
And then I will take a battle against you.
Okay.
And how safe do I want to go in this battle?
You don't.
Here's the tricky part. If I get a target icon there, you are dealing 5 hits to me.
Yep. But if you do 2 skirmish, you're attacking 1 ship.
If I do 2 skirmish, I take out 1 ship. Yeah, this is a very sucky battle. You're 5 ships there.
The advantage you do have is you do at least get to decide your turn next, so you could possibly use your 1 aggression card.
Actually, maybe this isn't the play. Let me read what's happening in the court here.
Yeah, you can't seize at the moment. Oh, wait, no. Relic would let you seize.
Yes, it would. Well, Relic would let me seize later, not now. But I'm taking the first turn next time, so Relic would let me seize.
Mm-hmm.
So I could just influence and claim...
anything.
Up to 2 of these, I think. So is Court Enforcer is useful to me. Court Enforcer is only useful if you actually place guys in the court.
Yep.
Which, if I take Court Enforcers, you are definitely not going to do that.
Nope. So it's
Facing
a worthless card. Face-up mobilization, it's the same thing as before, but let's be real, there are no mobilization cards left to play.
You know that because you discard them all.
Uh-huh. So Space Union is worthless.
Call to action. Actually, Call to Action
is a free action
combined
card.
with Spacing Union, if I draw that mobilization card, that could be huge.
True.
But Call to Action is definitely what I want. Okay. So I'm actually going to change my plan. Because this battle is not going to get me anywhere with only 2 ships.
Mm-hmm.
I do think I want to still spend a resource to repair that, though. It'll put me in a much safer position.
Mm-hmm. If I decide to, say, murder you.
Oh, I could just do that. Never mind. We're good. So I don't need to spend anything to repair, and I'm going to save that. So I'm actually going to save my resources.
Yeah, because you can repair with Administrator.
I'm going to do 1 influence. Oh yeah, Administrator gives me repair too, doesn't it?
Yes.
That's actually very useful.
Yeah, I think at this point, the only way I keep you from winning is if I can get more captives than you.
Okay. I need to get a guy over here. That's very important that I have that guy there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my influence action. And then, do I want to tax or repair? I think I want to just tax, actually. For reasons you'll see later.
Yep.
What am I taxing? Taxing psionics. Are there no more psionics? Do you have them all?
Yeah.
You have all the psionics, so I'm not taxing psionics, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have 1, I have 3, and 1 is under the empath. Which does mean the advantage is you get 4 points there.
Yes, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not taxing. I am, however, taxing. I have other places I can do. I can do fuel, I can do relic, I can do material, and I can do weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Where are those useful? Weapon is useful for Warlord. That's important. Material is useful for building. I don't need material. So I will tax the other 3 resources, I guess.
Yeah, yes, I will feed you. His turn's taking forever.
I will tax the relic. I will tax fuel. Relic, fuel. And then my choices are material, weapon. I will tax a weapon. And then I need to decide how to arrange these while you're feeding the cat. Let's see, that's important. That needs to be there. Weapon. Relic is not important. I believe that is my turn. I'll wait until you're back to do next stuff.
You done?
Yep, I've taxed my 3 times,
Okay.
and then I'll start my next turn. So, I take initiative, we end the round, and then I need to decide which card I'm leading with. I'm not declaring any ambitions, those are already declared.
If I had another 6, I would have declared empathy twice. That would have been the play. But sadly, I did not have another one.
Yeah. What I needed to do is then declare Tycoon as my 3rd one. He just managed to get declared before I did.
Yep. Told ya.
So, yeah, I mean, I was expecting Tycoon to be the big risk play, although now it's looking like, I mean, honestly, Tycoon and Tyrant are both just as risky with your blockade there. I'm not sure either one of them would have helped me much here.
Yep.
Because honestly, you could just raid me right now.
The catch is, because Warlord's guaranteed declared, you basically, no matter what, have second place in everything. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points, which would not be a victory.
It's still possible for me to take Warlord. The problem is my hand doesn't really lead
If
to
you
that.
take any one of these 3, it's over for me, because we both have points in all 3 categories now. We both have enough captives, trophies, and the only way for there to be any 0 is if one of us loses all of our psychic.
I think what I have to do is...
Which means, obviously, defending that psychic is a high priority for you and not spending it.
I think what I have to do here is play the 5 of Repair. I need a move action. I need a battle action. I need a seize action. And do I need any other actions? I could use a repair, but it's not worth spending an extra thing. We'll repair later. So I get to battle, I get to move, and I get to that. Okay. So to make this work, where am I positioned? I really wish I had that spaceport over there. I guess I could still get the spaceport, but I'm not battling this turn. Oh, everything sucks.
And the tokens are always resolved before everything else, correct?
Yes, they always have to be resolved first, which is what makes this so annoying.
Yeah.
In the case of the battle one, I'm just using that to be allowed to battle, although maybe I wait to do that later. Definitely want to move. Because I have no idea what you're playing here, which could really mess with me. I think I need to definitely battle this turn. The move and battle have to happen. And, okay, we're going to start by seizing. This is mine now. Protect my agent. And this is immediately resolved. Draw from the bottom. How do you draw from the bottom? I guess I flip over the deck and draw that card, which you did not see because you were not looking. There we go. I've drawn this. Draw from the bottom. I'm sure there's a way to do that in Tabletop Simulator. Okay, the relic has been resolved. Am I moving? I think I need as many ships as I can, don't I?
Which,
yep,
given the circumstances, has to come from over here.
Which, given the I'm deciding if I need to leave a ship behind or not.
Ah, yes.
Because if I bring it, I can have this exact same problem in my other city if I just bring everybody along.
Yep.
I have too many cities that are lightly defended, and you would just move your blockade over.
Yep.
However, moving and taxing in the same turn is hard.
Yep.
So, yeah. Things suck. I'm going to go for better chances. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And do I roll 5 skirmish or 5 assault?
All you need to do is have more control than I do. 5 skirmish, or I guess 5 assault.
No. There's multiple things here. I want your ships.
Oh yeah, that too.
I want to wipe out as many of your ships as possible to stop you from attacking me.
And just hope that there aren't you don't roll an intercept. The catch is if you roll even 1 intercept, which the odds are good.
Yeah, the odds are good that you deal 5 to me. However,
so, go for it.
Yes, that is a very annoying case. How safe do I want to play this? Okay, you roll an intercept. Although I guess the more intercepts you roll, only one of them actually happens. So odds are if I roll the red dice, I'm getting an intercept.
True.
But it might be safer for me to skirmish first. I get up to 2 battles here. So maybe I should do a skirmish first. All skirmish dice. And then use my second battle for assault dice.
Yeah.
That seems like the play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that is the play. First battle. 3 hits.
And you control the sector now.
Controlling the sector is good. The main thing, though, is you only have 3 hits left to assault me back.
Yep.
So now, for my second battle, 5 assault dice.
Yep.
And I got 2 targets, but that doesn't matter.
But
only
also
one target's
3...
gonna die.
Well, there's also 3 fire.
Yes, the 3 fires
So
are
you
annoying.
take 6 damage.
Let me count these out. Yep, so 3, 4, 5, 6, which is way better than 8 damage.
Is it?
Yes.
You have 1 ship left rather than 2, basically.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6. These are yours.
Yep, I get to take captives, warlord captives.
But then the hits I deal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. That's disappointing.
Yep.
I think I got the worst sides of these dice. Which I guess is the majority of these dice, is those worst sides.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which I'm going to use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I want to maximize captives or maximize. Or minimize your potential rule? Basically, am I fighting for Warlord or am I fighting for Tyrant?
Let's see. Right now, I have 5 warlord to your 3.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm doing 5 hits anyways.
Yep.
You'll have 1 ship left over, so I
Yep.
might as well take all 3, I think.
Yep.
That leaves me in a better position, especially because you could just pivot to build here.
Yep.
Okay. So I think prioritizing Warlord is the way to go there. So I've just knocked out a huge part of your army at the cost of you taking a few more captives. I think that puts me in a good position. However, based on what you play here, you could possibly go in and wipe out my damaged ships. You have a lot of psionic, though, which isn't going to help you. So you'd have to pivot to battle for that to happen.
Okay, I'm going to play...
There's a good odds you can pivot to battle, though.
Administration. And
Oh,
tax.
administration. Oh, right, you rule this now,
I
don't
do,
you?
which means I take 1 fuel.
That is a miscalculation on my
Oh,
part.
also I'm spending a fuel, by the way. So I'm going to spend 1 fuel to allow me to build. I will build the final ship I can build over here.
And the other thing is you could have just moved anyways, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, it doesn't matter too much.
Yep. But
You're saying the fuel has psionic, right?
Yep, and then I tax you, taking a fuel.
If I hadn't given you those captives, you would have just moved and then taxed, I'd assume.
Well, those aren't captives; those are trophies. Now I'm taking a captive.
Yeah, I mean, you would have taken that captive regardless. You could have just moved in and taxed instead of not having to move and tax.
So currently we're tied in captives. You lead in trophies, and I lead in psychic. And that is the end of my turn.
And in terms of initiative, I keep that.
Yep, you're going to keep it the rest of this game.
Depends on how I play, but very likely.
It is impossible for me to take initiative.
That is not true.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you have 2 cards. Never mind.
I have, not only do I have 2 cards, they are both the lowest value.
Oh, I forgot to reveal the new guy here.
It is
How much of a
genuinely
game
impossible
changer
for me to
is
take
this?
initiative the rest of this game. This is your game to lose.
Oh. This is brilliant. Yeah, this card that just got revealed, I'm very sorry.
Like I said, it is impossible for me to win this game at this point. Given the cards
Did
that
you
I
read
have
what I
left.
just revealed?
Yeah, I saw.
Outrage spreads.
Yeah,
All I have to do is obtain outrage spreads.
The worst part is that 5 administration was possibly my only chance to regain initiative, but the 2 other cards I have to play aren't worth playing in this for only 1 use.
The thing is, I won't be able to claim outrage spreads in 1 round.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's unlikely you'll be able to claim it out from under me.
Yep.
Let me double check what you've got over here. Yeah, you're not able to claim it out from under me.
Mm-hmm. So your weapon's still there. Just go away.
Yeah, it does that.
Yep, it doesn't take the weapon stuff for some reason.
I think what I need to do... move and influence. With that card I took from the bottom of the deck.
Mm-hmm.
I get to take 3 actions. What are my 3 actions? So I need to influence. The question is just how much I need to influence.
Mm-hmm.
Moving. Your fleet is just very annoying.
Yep.
Actually, I might change my plans. I've revealed this card, but I'm gonna...
Yep.
You do not see anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was that call to action how you got that move card?
Yeah, call to action.
Oh. You need to discard it.
What was that?
You didn't discard the call to action, I didn't realize you had used it.
Wait, didn't I?
It's still right here.
Oh, yeah, the boxes. You use them immediately.
Yep.
So that should have been over here. Okay. We're good. So... I think I actually have to build or repair first. I believe you don't have any construction suits. That's my gamble right now. Yeah, it's a safe gamble. So I'm going to play construction. And I'm going to use construction to repair. And then construction also lets me build. I could build a spaceport there, I guess. That'd be moderately helpful, but
that'll let you sling that 1 ship if you want to, basically.
I can sling 1 ship.
You never know.
Or alternatively, I could battle with my last action, but that seems a little wasteful.
Mm-hmm.
I have to spend a weapon in order to accomplish that.
Yep.
I'll just take out 1 ship of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Guess building a spaceport it is.
Which I think only can go here.
Yes.
Alright.
Wait, do I have anything else that's damaged on the board? No. Do I even want a spaceport there? The alternative, I can build more, or I can seize, neither of which is useful right now. Or I could battle in that 1 system, which is... would waste a weapon. Yeah, I think slingshot move is the most valuable play there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, slingshots do have...
You're not getting over there.
Yeah, it would take 2 moves to get over there. That's not worth it, so I'll just only have 1.
So you're pivoting?
Yep, I'm pivoting. I have 1 move. Hello.
Hello again. I'm assuming you're here to tax.
I can't.
Well, I mean, you're not this turn, but maybe next turn.
Maybe next turn. I leave 1 ship here just to guard, and that means I once again outnumber you.
Which is annoying.
Your move. That's all I can do. Because the problem is, I cannot build and I cannot repair due to where all my ships are.
What is that? 2 moves. So many things going on here. This would take me 2 moves. And would disrupt you. You're taxing 1 more time. I need that influence. All these ships are very much in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Very much in the way.
Yep.
Your ship right here means it takes 3 moves for any of my guys over here to do anything.
Yep.
The only guys in position to do anything are these bros,
Mm-hmm.
which take 2 moves to get to the center of the action.
Yep.
Yep, I guess we're gonna gamble. 2 moves. And a guy on this card.
Mm-hmm.
And before I do this, do I want to do anything else here? I could build. Build's not getting me anywhere. Or I could seize, but seizing would have to happen before I place that guy, so I can't do anything. Okay, your turn.
Alright. The only card I'm allowed to play.
Well, you can always play the other and face down it.
Why would I do that when I can do this? I am forced.
And then a battle.
I am forced to resolve the move first.
And let me guess, you're battling me.
Yes.
Now,
Because
what kind of battle
I have nothing that I can take here. There was a potential strat where I could influence and then seize card, but I don't think any of the cards are worth seizing. Yeah, face-up played mobilization card is the only one that might be useful to give me a mobilization, but I'm still going last because you don't have a mobilization, so all that would do is grant me 1 extra move.
Yeah, so what are you doing right now? Battling, I assume?
Yes.
And what are you battling with?
I have 6 ships, so I'm going to do this.
Mix. Interesting. I see what you're going for. I won't say it just in case you didn't
Let's
think
go.
of it, but I think I see what you're going for.
I got it.
Ah, very nice.
Okay, yours, you do, let's see, first off, the fire, I take 2 fire damage. Boop, boop.
And then I have 5 ships that are undamaged.
You do, which means you do 5 damage total. Boop, boop, boop. You take 2 captives.
Thank you. Well, taking 2 trophies.
Well, yeah, that.
Because those are different terms in this game.
Yep.
The difference is your trophies are dead.
And then in exchange, I dealt 3 damage. Boop. Boop. Which gets me up to 6 trophies versus your 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you've basically got trophies on lockdown.
Yes, especially if I attack you again on my turn, which
Yep.
is almost certainly happening.
But in return, I can take whatever I want from your hand.
So what do you want? You're taking my psionic?
Taking your psionic.
The annoying thing about that is it just sets me back a resource. It doesn't actually stop
It
the
also
effort.
means you don't score an empath.
Oh, no, wait, the annoying thing here. Loyal empaths is the annoying thing here.
Mm-hmm.
They are loyal. I can't get rid of empaths for you now.
Yep.
Yep, that is annoying. It's not the worst case scenario, but it is
Nope.
annoying.
No, the worst case scenario is what I needed to do was to somehow build my last building this turn, and there was no way to do that and still win the game.
Now the question is whether outrage spread is still worth it for me.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, is
Because
that
I no longer have
is
anything
the
in empath.
end of my turn?
The problem is me getting outrage spreads requires me spending my only remaining resource.
Yep, because yeah, you have a card,
Yes, I have a card.
so you might as well just play it. You've only got one.
Yeah,
card
here
to
I'll
play.
reveal a card. I get to build or repair,
Yep.
which is useless.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I can repair my ship here.
Yep.
But no.
And
But
you've
the
got-
ideal thing I
well,
want
you
to
can
do
also
is I convert
you
that
can
into
attack
that.
me.
So here's the annoying thing. What I want to do is use outrage spreads to get rid of all of those so you don't score an empath.
Mm-hmm. Which relic would let you seize or secure.
The problem is, I could do that. I could turn this into a relic, but then I can't battle you.
Yep.
And battling you is also important here, in order to get that
Mm-hmm.
Well, honestly, battling's not going to help me to get empaths away from you, so I guess the battling's not too important anyways.
Yeah, because you don't have any
But I
buildings
need to
there.
raid you in order for that.
You would need to attack here, which would require a move you don't have.
And raiding you requires moving, and there's no way you can move.
The question is, did I delay you enough that you can't win this turn? Because I'm not winning.
So it's literally impossible for me to move, I think.
Yes. You have no move options because you don't have the fuel card.
This battle would be nice just to take out your ships, to get them off the board.
Yep.
However, I think it's more valuable for me to just kill all your psionics for the next round. Because you going into 0 psionics.
How would you kill the psionics?
Outrage spreads.
What does that do again?
I declare a resource, and everybody is outraged on that resource. Which means you would lose all your psionics.
Wait, so outrage... Oh, you just know all the outrage types?
Well, the outrage types are on the board. It's the 5 resources.
Ah.
I choose an outrage type, and in this case, I would almost definitely choose psionic. And then everybody loses all their psionic. Including
But because I have provoke empaths.
The provoke empaths, or a loyal empaths, protects itself.
Yes.
But it won't protect all the other resources you have.
Okay.
So you'll still be in the lead for empaths.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the annoying thing there.
Yeah.
I can't stop that, but what I can do at least is, assuming we go into a next round, which I think we are, you're not going to start that round with 4 empaths.
Yep, although we are not doing that round tonight because I'm working 8 hours.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just double checking. Is there any advantage to me battling here? I could take out 3 of your ships easy, I'm sure. However, yeah, their ships is less valuable than the weapon. So I'm going to use 1 action. I'm going to use that to seize.
Wait, use what
and
to
I'm
seize?
going to declare...
Oh, because you turned it into a...
Relic. Yeah, I turned it into a relic.
Mm-hmm.
Every player, including me, we're all going to outrage on psionic.
Okay.
All your psionic gets discarded, but you could keep that card.
Mm-hmm.
And you must use one of your agents to mark psionics as outraged. And then I get 2 build or repair actions. So I guess I will do a repair. And I will also do a build and put another... Okay, another starport there.
Oh,
how many of my ships do you have?
Guild Struggle is the last card as the next card.
What's Guild Struggle do?
Steal
steal
a rival.
1 guild card from a rival?
Yep.
Okay, not the worst thing. All the Vox showing up at once is kind of weird.
Yeah, we've gotten all of them. Alright,
okay.
So you repaired. Okay, that's it for this turn?
I repaired and I built over here, so this is now a very spacey spaceport.
Yep.
That'll be useful next round.
That's it for this chapter, I believe.
Yep. Let's end the round.
Mm-hmm. And scoring.
I assume you have empath still.
1-0.
You're 1 empath to my 0. Yes.
So the taking it didn't matter in the end at all.
Well, the outrage wasn't for this round. The outrage was for the next round.
Well, no, either way, the outrage would have killed your psychic too. So taking it was worthless.
Well, the outrage when I had a psychic... Yeah, okay, it was still just... It was better than everything else here, mostly.
Yep. So, once again, didn't mean anything.
But it also means you're outraged with psychic now, which... Okay, I guess that also doesn't matter.
I'm noticing that a lot in this game, that it's very easy to just make choices irrelevant. 9 plus 11 is 19, and you got 0 from player 1. Tyrant, you cleared easy.
Yeah, I have
definitely
8
had more.
Or 6, so we both get Tyrant points. I just get more of them.
No, Tyrant's captives. So we tied.
Oh, Tyrant's captives,
We both get 3.
We both get 3. So you gave us both points.
And then Warlord. You won, which means you get 9, which means you win the game.
Oh, was that enough?
Yes.
I just barely scraped by.
Like I said, it was impossible for me to win this game. And I got second place.
It was impossible for you to win this round. It was possible I could have gotten less points there.
It was not
that really good battle.
Even if I couldn't, the odds of... I would need to be able to keep you from getting enough. Like I said, you winning even a single category gave you the game.
Yeah.
And I couldn't keep you from winning all 3 of them.
But then I also got... We both got 3 points at Tyrant and gave those to us.
If we tied on all... You couldn't have won even if you tied on all 3 or got last place. That's what I meant by all you had to do was win one of the 3, and you were guaranteed a victory.
Yep.
Mathematically speaking, it was almost impossible to lose because you could just focus all your efforts on one of these 3 categories, and you got lucky enough at the trophies that it didn't matter.
Yeah, the trophies ended up just being my best play there, simply because...
You know the worst part?
It was possible to fight Tyrant with you.
This is what the score would have looked like if the one resource had been taken from the correct category.
Which means we went one more round.
Yep, we would have actually had a race.
Although I could definitely say that wasn't the only misplay this game.
No.
I definitely saw some places where I could have done better. This is my only second game playing.
Mm-hmm. And I could definitely see...
I saw the big disadvantage to all these cities. I had a bunch of resources over here that just never really... Like, resources were great, but all these ships here were just kind of stranded there.
Yeah, you have them. The main advantage of that was it meant that I couldn't utilize it. My biggest problem the entire map, I was very much turtled, where I had a lot of ships in a small area, and I wasn't really able to do much with that. The amount of times where I could not build...
We both couldn't build towards the end. Your turtling meant you could just go around and tax all my stuff and take captives from me.
Yeah, but
which is great for the Tyrant ambition.
Only because I have to do that. There's no way outside of a few niche cases to move and tax on the same turn, given that tax is only available from one of the 4 actions.
You have to spend fuel for that.
Yeah.
So as long as you have fuel, you can move and
But
tax.
remember, I couldn't spend fuel.
Oh, right, you were outraged on fuel.
I've been outraged for half the game on fuel.
Actually, that would have changed the play I made earlier.
Because of
I needed to just leave one of my ships undamaged, and then you couldn't have actually taxed me that turn, and I would have won captive.
Yep. Yeah, my fuel, that's why I had this as psychic, so I could spend fuel as psychic, but I could not spend fuel as fuel, so I never had the move option.
Yeah, okay, so you can never... I completely missed that you couldn't move and attack.
Nope, unless you played a move card. That was the only way that I could move or attack. Is if you played a move...
Yeah, you'd have to psychic and then pivot
copy
and
yours.
choose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't dare spend any psychic because I knew that you could potentially raise psychic here and take that from me. But then the moment the outrage card came, I was like, well, damned if I do, damned if I don't.
What might have been a better play for me is I swapped the order of those two. I didn't know whether you could kill me or not, so I didn't like having all these damaged ships just waiting for you to take them back from me. Which is why I did it that way.
Nope, dang
but
it.
Had I known that you weren't going to battle... Had I known that battle wasn't an option to you, because what was that last card you played?
The last card I played was the battle.
Okay, yeah, the battle being an option for you meant I guess I did play through my play.
Yeah, no.
The alternative was I could have tried to seize that card in the previous round, got rid of the outrage, and then tried to tax in the next round. I don't know if I had a way to tax.
My only real advantage, again, was knowing all of your cards.
Yeah.
But the problem was, that didn't mean anything because I knew that I couldn't win. Because I knew what your cards were. I see the advantages
of that. I think it's almost always better to just get a new hand, just so you have that knowledge.
Yep. Unless it happens to be the hand you know you need.
Yeah, if it's a really good hand, you keep it, otherwise get rid of it. Because I wasn't sure what a good hand was, so I just kept it. If you don't know if it's a good hand, I think it's better to just get rid of it. So you don't go first, but you do get all that knowledge advantage. Yeah, overall, what do you think of the game?
Feels like it's complicated in a lot of ways. Some of which work, some of which don't. I feel that the biggest problem I have with it is that the win conditions don't always mesh well with what you're doing. So, like, I often say that I prefer card games over dice games purely because cards give you options and you can at least play with those options. But it feels really easy to draw a hand that doesn't give you options.
Yeah, because getting the ambitions declared seems like a really hard thing.
Because you have to get the exact
I could
correct
always,
ambition.
on my turns, I had ways to always take a lot of actions. Whether that action was seizing cards from the guild, or whether that action was battling and moving, or building, I always had options in those categories. Declaring ambitions, I didn't always feel like I had a choice with declaring them. So, I mean, I guess you're not declaring them that often, so they definitely wanted to make them difficult. The big thing is you declare an ambition and you're almost certain to lose initiative. It's very unlikely you get to declare ambition and keep initiative. That is one thing that having more players helps with, because with 2 players, you declare an ambition, and you're basically guaranteed your opponent now gets initiative. But with 3 players, either opponent is the one who's going to claim it now, so it's not always going to the same opponent.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd have to think about how to... The ambition part is the part that makes it feel to be like... It's really hard to figure out how you're going to win. Because the ambitions are just so hard to declare. If you can get a good ambition, though, you got some very good ambitions declared in that last round, in part due to that guild card you had, which turned that round from you were really far behind to a really good round.
Yeah. I was, because of not being able to declare the things I wanted to at the right time, the scoring was very much behind, and mathematically it made things difficult.
You managed it, like that last round, though. You got every category except one.
Mm-hmm. But the problem was it didn't matter because I needed to get all 3 of them.
Yeah, you needed to get every category to win, but you got the majority of them just because of you had full control over declaring ambition. Because every round you could declare an ambition if you wanted. So I definitely see the wisdom there. Like, yeah, I needed to start declaring them off the bat. I forgot you had that guild card. Yeah, in other news, isn't this a lovely background? Look at all those stars.
Yep, it's a fun one. Alright, I'm gonna go end the stream and all that.
Yeah, and I probably need to go get some more things done for today.
Yep, whereas I need to do the bed thing so I can do tomorrow's work thing. Good playing with you.
I'm prepared for tomorrow, just not entirely prepared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, overall, it's a fine enough game, but I feel like there are... The problem is, I'm not sure how to change the ambition system without ruining the ambition system. If you made it so you could just declare whatever ambition you wanted to, the game becomes immeasurably easier.
Well, actually, you can in the 4-player game.
Oh, yes, with the 7 card.
4-player with the 7 card, now you got a lot more freedom with ambition.
But, of course, the real danger there is there's several other players to worry about.
In the 3-player game, the other advantage you have is like the same advantage Root has. When you have multiple players, it's not you have multiple players who are all ganging up against you. You have multiple players, you can pit them against each other as well. So, as an example, losing initiative is very often bad in 2 players. Because you lose initiative means the one opponent gains it. In 3 players, you can work around that a little better. So I guess it becomes safer to declare ambitions. Also, more of the maps opened up in more players.
Yep, so it's another game that's very different in multiplayer, which I think is a big thing I've noticed with all the games by this developer, is that all of them are much better games with more players. And although they try to balance around 2 players, I don't think it's always successful.
I'd argue this game, 3 and 4 players work just about as well.
Yeah.
I think in general, it's hard to make an aggressive game that is the same experience in 2 players and 3 players.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's impossible.
Because there's no alliance options with 2 players.
Yeah.
It's
and
like
no ability to alliances just means it's a zero-sum game.
It's like how in Root, half the factions are just unplayable if you have a 2-player game.
Yes. I think making a 2-player... I feel like this game is better at 2 players than Root is at 2 players.
Oh yeah,
I do think it works a lot better as a 2-player game.
Mm-hmm.
So just in terms of, like, if we need a game to play and it's just the 2 of us, I feel like I'd rather play this game than Root just for that aspect.
Yep, but I feel like there's other games I'd rather play even more, like go back and play Scythe again. Or do you know that?
Oh yeah, you played Scythe with me, didn't you?
Did you know that Minotaurus is available on Tabletop Sim?
I mean, Minotaurus is available on Lego Digital Designer too if you put in enough effort.
Yes, but it's probably a lot easier to play on Tabletop Sim.
The dice rolling is a big thing. The dice rolling would be way easier on Tabletop Sim. Everything else is neutral.
Fair.
At some point in time, Lego Digital Designer added in the micro figure, so you just put those everywhere and make any of the board games.
Mm-hmm.
And everything snaps to the grid pretty easily there because it's Lego. Yeah, I'd say also, though, like Groot, I'd probably rather play this at 3 players just because I like the when you're in an aggressive game, not having that zero-sum aspect. The way they did this with the dummy player sort of helps things. The fact that some categories you couldn't just claim and always be guaranteed a second place in. I thought that was a good feature. And it seemed they lined it up pretty good with the resources and how everything was. Those seemed like they were arranged well.
All right.
I will also mention, you probably only noticed the main rules for Arcs. Arcs, they actually designed the game as a campaign game, and this is the simpler version for just a single session.
Okay.
So in the campaign, you actually play 3 rounds of Arcs, and what you do in each session carries over to the next session.
Makes sense.
I have not looked into the campaign rules at all, although everybody who's played the campaign loves it.
BRB, you gonna read that quickly?
Is,
Thank you everybody for joining. I posted the schedule in the chat. Basically, Fallout and possibly Rock Raiders are going to finish on Saturday, multiplayer Wednesday, something fun Thursday next. All right, Juker. Thank you everybody for joining. Always a pleasure. See you at a time. Later.